Welcome, everyone. This is your friend, the DN WhatIf 2.0, here with another exciting fanfiction. Today, we're diving into the story of what if Deku was tired of being the villain? If you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more fanfiction content just like this. Now, let's get started with the fanfic. Midoriya Izuku didn't know his 4th birthday would be as well the last day he'd see his mom. God, if he knew this, he would do anything just to enjoy their last moments. The day started perfectly. He woke up as the sunlight drifted in through his window. More excited than normal days, he got up, quickly heading to his mom's bedroom. He opened the door and ran to her bed, climbing it and jumping on her as he happily announced, "Mom, it's finally the day. I'm 4. Inko opened her eyes, at first confused by the sudden jostle, then finally smiled at her son. "Yes, Izuku, you're finally 4, she said, smiling softly as she got out of the bed. They walked into the kitchen and Inko, as always, started to prepare breakfast. "Can we have katsudon for dinner?" Izuku asked wishfully. "Of course, Izu," she answered with a big smile. Inko loved seeing her son so happy, his smile was priceless. They ate like any other day, except Izuku was vibrating with excitement, and Izuku went to his room to get ready. They were going to the ice cream shop with Kaken. He brushed his teeth and changed clothes, from his pajamas to an all-might shirt, gray shorts, and red sneakers. "I'm ready, Mom," he said as he walked back to the kitchen. "Let's go, Izu," his mother said as she grabbed his hand, and they were out. As soon as they arrived at the place, Izuku saw Kaken waving frantically and ran over to him. "Hi, Kaken," he stopped in front of the blonde boy. "Deku, you're finally going to have a quirk, huh? Then you won't be useless anymore, but you'll never surpass me. Don't forget that. I'll still become the #1 hero," he yelled, angry as ever. "Sure." Izuku didn't agree with him because there's no way he'll become a hero just like All Might, even if Kaken was able to become the #1 hero. But he nodded anyway. He didn't want to fight with Kaken on his birthday. The day was going as expected. They had ice cream, lunch, went to the park, played, and now, Inko was saying goodbye to Mitsuki and Izuku followed suit to say goodbye to Kaken. "Deku, you better have your quirk by Monday, okay? See you at school." Kaken yelled as he left. "Let's go, Izu, you played so much today. You must be tired. I'll make some delicious katsudon when we're home," Inko said and grabbed his hand, leading their way home. Then, the unexpected happened and Izuku remembers those moments as if they happened yesterday. His mom was preparing dinner in the kitchen and he was watching the news on the sofa. Suddenly, he could hear a high-pitched noise, his mouth got salty, his vision blurred, the delicious scent coming from the kitchen got bitter and he could no longer distinguish where he was. When he was finally able to understand what was happening, tears were falling on the floor. He could feel his mom hugging him and asking what's wrong. And then he realized, he could hear much better, see much more, the smell of katsudon and some others were now filling his nose, his mouth was sweeter. His 5 senses were increased. Was this his quirk? Really? Izuku asked out loud, scaring his mother that was now looking at him, waiting for an explanation. "It's my quirk, Mom. I only know it's related to energy because I can actually feel it, but it's hard to explain. Basically, my 5 senses got a lot better. And it seems that some of this energy was, as well, transmitted to my brain, which is making me think so many things at the same time. Is this all my quirk can do? Can I direct this energy to specific places? Will this make me stronger or faster? Perhaps both? Anyway, I'm muttering, aren't I? That's because of this energy on my brain. I don't know if I can take it out of there, it's making me really anxious and maybe it's involuntary. That'd be bad too, as it'd make me anxious in situations that I don't really want to be in. Like it can make me panic. Oh God, that'd be terrible in a hero situati." Izuku's rambling was cut off by his mother. "That's great, dear," his mother cried. "Now you can finally," she was cut off. "Oh my, will you look at this? I was planning to stay some days until your quirk manifested, but it looks like I won't need to do so," the stranger at the door said. Stranger at the door? Izuku was so lost in thought that he didn't notice someone opening their door, even with a better hearing. He'd need to write all of that down, But not now, he was more concerned about the man in their house. "Get out of my house, Hisashi," his mom said, getting up and grabbing his hand. She knew him? Not knowing who this Hisashi was, Izuku hid behind his mom's hand, peeking to see what was happening. "Give me the boy, Inko. You know, it'll be a lot easier if you just do as I say." Izuku felt a shiver run down his spine. The man wanted him. "But I'll never give my son to someone like you. You're not welcomed here." Izuku had never seen his mom this angry before. It scared him. The last thing he remembers about that night is the fire. A lot of fire. Izuku thinks he's 10 now. He doesn't remember at all. Since that day he's lost track of time, but he's probably 10 now. Not that anyone would care, not at all. But yeah, 10 years old. Izuku's been living with the League of Villains since that day. It's not really fun, but at least he's not a villain. His job is to acquire information about the heroes he's asked to, so he can provide this information to Hisashi. But it's not really that simple. You see, the one time he gave wrong information to him, Sensei had him tortured. He can't commit mistakes. He also can't escape. He tried it once, probably 2 years ago. It was nothing fun. He was tortured a whole week after that, which was the cause of the scar he has on the left side of his jaw. He really hopes he won't meet Sensei in person. The only thing he knows about him at all was that he liked torture. Izuku really hopes he won't meet Sensei. Izuku can't kill. Sensei once asked for it, but he can't. He'll never do such a thing as killing. He can be tortured, he can die, but he won't kill. That's the cause of the burn scar on his back. Hisashi wasn't happy to hear that he wouldn't kill, but he fortunately never asked for it again. Izuku's been homeschooled too. Hisashi says that when he learns his lesson, he'll go to school, as it takes too much time for the League to play teachers. He hopes that day will come soon. He's just a kid and should be out there not worrying if he'll be fed today or not as every other kid. But he's trapped. He's trapped with them and he cannot escape. The only things Izuku has here are his notebooks. The notebooks he writes all the information he gathers about the heroes. His favorite hero, you ask? Eraserhead, an underground hero. The reason is simple, he doesn't know a lot about him at all. He knows his name, age, quirk, and a few weaknesses, but that's not enough. Izuku's been trying to get more information for a whole year, and Sensei seems to be getting angry. That's why he's Izuku's favorite hero. He keeps him busy, keeps him thinking. He makes Izuku feel like he's the old him. 4-year-old Izuku would love to meet Eraserhead, the mysterious underground hero, and try to understand him more. His notebooks are really interesting, Sensei say. Izuku's mostly afraid of that sentence because he himself is the first person writing in the first notebook. Name, Midoriya Izuku. Hero/villain name, none. Age? Last name for quirk, vitality. Is able to transfer energy to specific parts of the body, such as arms, fingers, ears, eyes, and even brain. The energy can boost the body part in different ways depending on the owner's wish. Examples: can expand his sight if he focused the energy on the eyes, can increase the strength of his arms if focused on. Has his 5 senses, speed and strength enhanced even when not focusing the energy on said part. Extras. The continuous use of the quirk will cause headaches and will eventually cause the owner to pass out if used continuously. 38 minutes is the record time for the constant use of the quirk. OBS will keep getting better if trained. That's all he knows about himself. He doesn't remember his mother's name, where he lived, or why he was taken away in the first place. Izuku finally decides to get up and get dressed with the lack of clothes he has, and then head to the common room, if you can even call it that. "Good morning," Hisashi says as he gets closer. "You'll be going to school tomorrow." "What?" His voice is raspy and low. The statement took him completely off guard, which made him immediately regret talking. "Did I give you permission to talk?" Izuku shakes his head as a silent no. "Good. As I was saying, you're going to school, starting tomorrow. Kurogiri went out to buy your uniform. You'll be attending as a Rai-Yachi. And under no circumstances will you be showing your quirk. You're quirkless out of this place, understood?" Izuku nods and leaves without saying a word despite the thoughts that are racing his mind. He walks back to the room he sleeps in, as you can't call that a bedroom, and he sits on the bed. Of course he would get a fake identity. He's surprised they didn't ask him to change his appearance as well. Izuku lays down, staring at the ceiling blankly. Is this what they call sadness? Loneliness? He can't describe it, this feeling that is eating him alive. He knows what loneliness is like. He experiences it every day, and he misses the feeling of a hug. He knows what sadness feels like. He felt that a lot for a long amount of time when he found out his mom was dead. He knows what annoyance feels like. He felt that for a long time when he found out his own father killed his mother. He knows what hatred feels like. He hates his father. He hates fire. He hates his life. But this is a new feeling. He feels empty. Suddenly, there are tears. He's crying? Pathetic, he doesn't even know the reason behind them. Then, someone knocks at the door. It's open, he says, colder than expected, rubbing the tears off his face. It's Kurohige with his uniform. Good morning, Izuku. You won't be doing any jobs today, so use the time to get prepared for school. Good luck tomorrow. Thanks. He's able to mutter before the man goes away, leaving the uniform on his desk. He actually likes Kurohige. He treats him incredibly well compared to Sensei and Hisashi, but he's still a villain. Izuku stares at the uniform and then at his bed. Like hell he'll prepare for school when he's sleep-deprived because of his FING job. Get up is a wonderful way to wake up your son on his first day at school, isn't it? Izuku slowly gets up and gets dressed. He slept a lot yesterday. He gets his bag ready, leaves out of the room, and walks to Hisashi. The man doesn't say a word. He indifferently drives him to the school, and before leaving he says, "You know what will happen if you say anything." His eyes. Izuku hated that look in his eyes. The man leaves and Izuku is left looking at the ground with more thoughts than he'd like. School is not a good place, Izuku concludes. He barely even introduced himself and there were already bullies targeting him. Wonderful, isn't it? Oh, but it can get even better. His childhood friend, Kaken, is one of them. It's impressive, the fact that the blonde doesn't recognize him. It's only been 6 years. Yes, sarcasm. Izuku curses himself. This is not what he wants to become, but the universe is not on his side, so he drops it. It burns. Just like his Hisashi's fire, Kaken's explosions burn and Izuku hates it. He hates how there are burns all over his body. He hates Kaken. He never wanted to, but they burn. He's being called Deku again. He's being bullied for being something he is not. He has a quirk. Kaken calls him Deku, but he doesn't remember who he is. He couldn't. And if he did, he'd be dead before realizing it. Izuku hates school. He started to feel done of being bullied. He wants to fight back because he's not useless like they say he is. He's not a stupid Deku. He's not even quirkless. But he can't. Maybe he's useless after all, just as they say. He can't do anything because he's not useful enough to break the rules. He's a coward for following Sensei's rules just because he's afraid. But afraid of what, you ask? He doesn't know. Should Izuku be afraid of death? He doesn't know. If you think you'll have a quirk in your next life, go take a swan dive off the roof. Kaken tells him one day. It's not actually a bad idea if you stop and think about it. It's been 4 years and nothing has changed at all. Kaken still calls him Deku even when he doesn't remember who he is. He still lives with the League, still works for them. The only thing that changed is how Izuku feels. If he felt happy, angry, or sad before, he doesn't remember. He's numb. He doesn't care anymore. He doesn't care how many scars he's gained the past several years. He doesn't feel anymore. So, what bad would it be if he just jumped off the roof now? None. His mom isn't here to care. He'd happily thank Kaken right now that he is sitting on the edge of the roof, thinking about how much pain he'll feel before he dies. It was great advice for the first time. Who knew Kaken could be supportive for once? He takes one last look at the view. It's an enjoyable moment considering that it's his last. Or at least he thought it was. Hey, kid, Eraserhead says behind him, coming out of nowhere. Eraserhead, he whispers, surprising both himself and the hero. He hasn't talked for a while now. He comes closer, but Izuku is still confused. What is he doing here? I'm all ears, the hero says, sitting down beside him. He looks up at him in confusion. Where into you going to jump, kid? He doesn't feel like talking. His throat is rough, his voice is, and he feels like crying. Eraserhead says nothing for a while. He just sits there, keeping him company, and Izuku is grateful. He takes a deep breath and rubs his eyes with his wrists. He doesn't know why he starts talking. Maybe he just needs to talk to someone, maybe he just wants all of this to be over, maybe he's just done. So he talks, and the words fly away from him, and even if he wanted to, he can't stop. It's not like it matters anyway, he'll die after this. So he tells him about his quirk, his scars and their stories, about the league, the notebooks, how numb he feels, how he's being bullied for not having a thing that he had since he was 4, his fake identity, and what his childhood friend just told him moments before this. How done he is with the world and its utter bullshit, how he sometimes catches himself questioning if he deserves what he's going through. What he didn't expect, however, was a hug. What he didn't expect was to feel like the world just fell off his shoulders. What he didn't expect was to have a breakdown right on Aizawa Shuta's arms and that all the feelings he's been keeping inside would just flee like this. Everything is going to be okay, Izuku hears the hero whisper to him as the man wipes his tears. Hello. There, kid, I'm Tsukachi Naomasa. The man greets Izuku with a smile. Izuku was fed. He didn't expect Eraserhead to drag him by force, and now he was here, police station, guy with a lie detector quirk and fed. What should he do now? He can't just try to run away, not when he's still wrapped in Eraser's capture weapon. Language, problem child, Eraser says, tightening the grip. Wow there, problem child? He gives the hero a look and turns his head. Well, hello there, attitude. Izuku tries not to roll his eyes, but he can hear a small chuckle from the detective. Okay, so let's start, shall we? The man guides them to a room and Izuku is left with him. Be honest with me, alright kid? You probably already know my quirks, so don't make the job harder. Izuku sighs as he tries to decide what to do. Is everything you told Eraserhead truth? Damn, why did he even tell him in first place? Yes. What is he going to do, If Hisashi finds this out, he's dead. And he probably will. Do you want to go back there? When the question is spit out, Izuku gives the most obvious look to the man. Of course not. Tsukachui, Izuku remembered, sighs in relief. Well, at least they believe him now. But it doesn't really matter, right? He was a villain after all. You're Midoriya Izuku, the kid who disappeared 10 years ago? Wow, now that he thinks about it, 10 years sounds like a lot of time. Probably. Tsukachi seems to be indecisive about what to do with the response, proceeding. Son of Midoriya Inko and Midoriya Hisashi, he shivers at his mom's name. I don't really remember my mom's name, but I can confirm my father's. He looks at the man, who now carries a concerned look. Your house was burnt down 10 years ago, your mother died at the scene, and your father's location was still unknown until now. Izuku sighs melancholy. I'm aware. Then he gets lost in thoughts again. He knew he was going to die soon, but he wasn't expecting to be tortured to death. It would have been a lot easier if he had just killed himself. But no, Eraser had to appear out of nowhere, and had to be a little baby and cry it all out. Now he wasn't going to be the only one that was going to die. F'. He can't think about anything else. He's going to die. Hisashi will find him, Sensei will be angry and he'll be tortured. F'. Hey, are you listening to me? He looks up at the man's eyes. Sorry, he mutters, now paying attention, trying to ignore his thoughts. I said you'll be put under foster care, Izuku pales. No, they don't get it, they'll find him, there'll be more deaths than just his. It's not that simple, it doesn't matter where he is, they'll find and kill him. Furthermore, the foster family would just be more victims. He can't accept this. No, why didn't he just die? It'd be so much easy. Kid, breathe. It's not the detective, but he can't recognize who says it, because obviously he would have a panic attack right now, just to make the situation even better. It's okay, they won't find you, you're safe here, was he muttering? Yeah, he probably was. You don't get it, it doesn't matter with whom or where I am, they'll find me, please just let me go, it'll be just easier if I kill myself and no one will be affected by a thing. Please just let me go, Don't do this, he can't breathe. He forgot how. What was the matter anyway? Soon he'll be back to that place, he'll be tortured again, he'll. Focus on my breath, kid, breathe with me. The voice says, Izuku doesn't know who's talking anymore, Eraserhead? Tsukachi? Come on, just breathe with me, right? Breathe, let's focus on breathing for now. When he finally calms down, Tsukachi's gentle enough to say something that scares him even more. You'll be staying with Aizawa until you get a foster family, he says as it was the most obvious thing in the world. I'll what? No, he already said that. We'll adopt him. A new voice says and a blonde man in glasses enters the room. Hisashi. Izuku notices that suddenly Aizawa looks twice more tired than before. He looks back to the man at the door, he could bet that he knows him from some. Present Mike? You guys are Toget? Well, of course you are. How did I never think of this before? Wait, what did you say again? Did Izuku overhear him? Yeah, obviously, right? Wow there, little listener. You're very smart, aren't ya? And well, I said that we're adopting you. Izuku gasps and pales even more. But you just met me. How can you be sure that I won't, I don't know, try to kill you at night or go back to the League and... It's not even a good idea. The League will come after me, and eventually after you guys too, We're probably the most indicated people to take care of you in the case of villains after you. Plus, I know when I see potential. As even you said, it'd be dangerous to stay with foster families. We, Hisashi and I, are pro-heroes. We know better than any foster family how to properly take care of you. Is this really happening? Izuku thinks they literally just met him. And Eraserhead saying that he sees potential on him? Hell no, how so if he was a villain? It's not like he's going to become a hero out of sudden, starts to study at UA and get a pro-hero license. He could barely dream about it, Hisashi was always there to ruin it. Alright then. I'll go get the papers, you can stay on the waiting room, you already know where it is. Tsukachi says and leaves. Izuku felt like he was left behind without any explanation, which he just did. He just wanted to kill himself. Now he's going to be adopted and start to live with two pro-heroes? And one of them is his favorite? He can swear that this could be just an illusion, Quirk. He couldn't believe this. I couldn't believe it too, you see. Present Mike says, drawing his attention, when Shota messaged me saying that we'd be taking care of a child. I couldn't believe it. You probably know that he teaches at UA, right? Izuku nods without knowing what to actually say. Well, he's known for expelling his students. Really, I wouldn't believe either if I was you. But it's okay. We'll take care of this now, you're still a kid, you know. And now you'll be our kid. Man, I'm so excited. I've wanted to adopt a kid for ages now. It's a miracle that Shota finally accepted. Izuku hears Aizawa sighs, and well, he would too if his fiancée talked about him like he wasn't there. But he had to admit that it was weird to be called their child. Looks like he'll have to get used to it. While both pro-heroes talked with Tsukachi about the adoption, Izuku was sitting in the waiting room, staring at the ceiling, waiting to wake up or something. Hey kid, let's go. Aizawa all of a sudden appears, making him flinch. He gets up and walks behind them, still thinking about what was happening with his life. 30 minutes ago he was sitting on the school's roof, about to end his life. As you well know, I'm an underground hero. And as the media doesn't know that I and Hisashi are together, our apartment is a secret. There's a room that we'll be preparing for you, so no need to worry about it. Aizawa says as they get in a car, that Izuku decides to be Yamada's. Should I even be calling them by their second name? Izuku thinks on the way to his new apartment. Maybe he should try a suffix, but they were his parents now, weren't they? Wait, what about his second name? What'll happen to me? He asks in the back seat, feeling his now parents looking at him through the rearview mirror. Well, you'll start living with us. Obviously. You probably won't go back to your school if what Shota told me is truth. And well, I still can't decide about your name. Yamada says, looking uncertain. I'm stuck between choosing our two names or only one. You'd be Yamada Izuku or Aizawa Izuku. And if you want, you can keep Midoriya. Yamada proceeds as well. Izuku hears a sigh and Aizawa closes his eyes as he speaks. I still think it should be just my name. Not many people know my citizen name and people won't talk about it. The man says flatly. Alright then, all set. We just have to take care of those papers after taking you shopping. Yamada says loudly as ever, leaving Izuku confused. Shopping? Clothes? You don't have any with you besides the one you're wearing, and that's a school uniform. Plus we need a toothbrush, we can get you a phone, new notebooks for your writing, and I'm going to buy you so many things, yeah. Yamada says, weirdly more excited than Izuku himself. He looks at Aizawa with a look that didn't need words to be understood. Is he always like this? And when Aizawa looks back at him, he gets a yes. Izuku looks down at himself. He forgot he just got out of school. What just happened? He needed to accept what was happening. He would need to get used to this, okay. But it's not that easy when you have anxiety. There are villains after you, and your new second father is really loud. He really hopes he won't lose any of his hearing. It was a really helpful part of his quirk. They didn't spend money on expensive things, if you don't consider the phone, that wasn't even that flashy, and Izuku was glad. He just chose some wide clothes, few of them with random prints, but never something that calls out a lot of attention. He took a pair of slippers and red shoes that he thought to be very cool. Yamada made sure to buy him some hero merch too. His favorite was a comic book where all Japan's heroes appeared, even Eraserhead. They bought more comics, books, and new notebooks too. Izuku was already excited about writing a lot of things down on them. As incredible as it sounds, he actually asked them to buy it. When they got home, Izuku was whacked, hungry, and surprisingly sleepy. Yamada and Aizawa helped him getting his new bedroom ready, which he really enjoyed. There was a single bed that looked really comfortable, 2 pillows that also looked really soft, a writing desk on the right side, a wardrobe on the door wall, and a window on the left side, right above a puff. He didn't remember his bedroom on his mother's apartment, but this was for sure the better place he'd sleep in 10 years. Izuku was so thankful. His writing desk was already occupied by action figures, comic books, notebooks, some books, and his phone. He'd have to ask for some other writing tools later, because right now the priority was to take a good shower and reflect about how much his life changed in one day. He walked through the hall to the only bathroom, that wasn't too far. It was bigger than expected, but considering it was the only one on the apartment, it was okay. Dinner's ready, little listener. Yamada calls from the kitchen. Izuku just got out of the shower. Now with his towel on his waist, he gets dressed as simple as possible and walks to the kitchen/living/dining room. He couldn't really find a word, as there was no walls separating each commode. You made katsudon? He says, getting closer to the table where the couple was already sitting. It looks like I made the right choice choosing what we'd eat. Yamada grins at Aizawa. Izuku sits down looking at his bowl. Thank you, he says, catching their attention. You didn't have to do this, but you made more to me than I ever thought I'd have. You gave me a comfortable place to sleep, the only decent meal I had in 10 years, a place to live. A home. You just dash. Then he starts to sob, trying to rub the tears away. Thank you so much. He is able to say before his parents evolve him on a hug, and he is sure that Yamada is crying. It's okay, kid. This is our job now, to take care of you, make sure you're safe and okay. We're your family now. Everything will be just fine, Aizawa says, and Izuku feels Yamada releasing them. Izuku takes a deep breath, brushes his face. No more crying. They would have eaten with perfect silence if it wasn't for Yamada's loudness. He tells them about his day and something about a student committing the most stupid mistake on the history of English. Then he looks at Izuku with an excited face. Did you learn English, little listener? Yamada asks, making Izuku looks up at him. Yeah, I think I'm fluent, but I'm not the one to judge. He says in a perfect English, surprising both Yamada and Aizawa. He is clearly embarrassed now. Yeah. The blonde screams with his quirk, causing Izuku to jump on his chair. Hisashi, don't be so loud, you know about kid's quirk, Aizawa says, sighing. Not news though. Oh yeah, sorry there, Izuku. But that's great news. It's really impressive to be fluent on a foreign language at your age. Izuku's taken aback to hear his name for the first time, but just smiles at Yamada, muttering a thanks before finishing to eat. Aizawa washes the dishes while Izuku and Yamada are watching the news. Slime villain attacks child and All Might appears to help. Izuku pales. That's Kaken. Yamada looks at him concerned. Your said childhood friend? Aizawa looks at them worried too. Why yeah? He doesn't know what to say. He's lost on the occurrences and he honestly doesn't know what to do. I'm sure he's okay, Izuku, now let's go to bed, shall we? It's getting late already. Aizawa says behind them, walking to his and Hisashi's room, leaving the blonde to take care of the child. Yamada scolds Izuku to his room, putting him on bed. Good night, little listener, he says, and before leaving he kisses Izuku's forehead. Good night. Izuku whispers behind the biggest smile Yamada ever saw the boy giving them before. Izuku was okay now. He had a family again. He just hoped this day wasn't all just a dream. By the time he wakes up, everything is dark. He's lying down on a stiff bed and his pillows as thin as silk. He was obviously not home. Izuku gets up looking around. There's a small window on the top of the wall, with thick grids. Is this a prison? He asks himself, while he desperately looks for a door. There is one, a very old and silver door. He tries to open it, but realizes that it's locked from the outside. He looks at the room again, there's nothing else and he's all by himself. Where's Mom? Who was the man at the door? Are his thoughts as he sits on the bed, holding back tears. Where am I? He finally questions, and he's surprisingly answered by the door, that is open brutally. Get out. Follow me. Izuku is scared. He can't see the man's face, but his voice is the same as the man's. He follows him without saying a word, the fear occupying his entire throat and mind. After walking for something that seemed like 5 minutes, they finally enter a big room. There is a small center table surrounded by chairs, where he could see someone, or something that looked like a portal, sitting on one of them. Sit down, the man orders, and once again he does what's said without questioning. I am Midoriya Hisashi. I am your father and from now on you will be working for the League of Villains. There's suddenly too much in his head, he can't properly process what's happening, it's all too much. The room starts to spin and the ground's suddenly too far away from his feet. Father? League of Villains? Work? He was. For what does his father meant by work? Is he going to become a villain? Would he have to kill people? While his thoughts, or mumbles, are interrupted by someone. Shut the F up, child. His father says, hitting the table. Izuku flinches, suddenly feeling tears falling down his face, and they wouldn't stop. Not a villain. Too going to be a hero someday. I'll save people just like all M-. Izuku is thrown to the floor by a hit. The tears intensify and he is now sobbing. I said shut the F up, stupid kid. You don't dare to say that name again on this place. Never again. His father's voice is ominous. Izuku is terrified. He wants to go home. He doesn't want to be a villain. He wants to live a normal life like a normal kid. You can't be a hero, and I hope you don't bring that stupid idea up again. You'll live here on the exact same room you woke up. You won't question your missions, your works, or what you're told to do. There are always consequences for your actions. Are we understood? Izuku looks up at him before getting up, terror filling his eyes. Yes, father. Then there is foot in face, causing more tears to fall. It's probably going to leave a mark. Don't you ever call me that again, and only talk when I give you permission. Understood? Izuku nods frenetically and gets up, walking back to his bedroom. The portal man does nothing but watch. Izuku didn't even see a little of pity on his eyes. He hopes that heroes will come to save him. They will, right? Because Izuku is scared. He wants to go home. He wants his mom and her warmth again. He wants to play with Kaken and show him his quirk, just as he wants to understand it more. He doesn't want to stay here, but a deep voice in his mind tells him, you don't have a choice. He hears footsteps getting closer and the door is once again open with savagery. I decided to play with you a little before going out. His fat Hisashi, he corrects himself, says with a grin. Izuku is sweating considerably when he wakes up. He also can't seem to find any air to breathe. He finds himself in an involuntary hug with his knees, and can feel tears coming out of nowhere. He doesn't want to wake Yamada or Aizawa, so he picks up his phone, reading 3:47 on the screen. Okay, don't cry, Izuku, it's okay, you're safe now, the heroes didn't find you but you're okay, Eraserhead and Present Mike will protect you and the heroes didn't find you. He curses himself, feeling tears on his cheeks, the thoughts filling his head. They didn't care. You see, you spent 10 years living with villains, working for them, being tortured, suffering and crying, but no one came for you. They don't care. You are insignificant. Why would heroes save you at all? You can't even think of being a hero again. A kid who is the son of a villain and even worked for them can't ever be a hero. You are nothing. You are pathetic, trying to kill yourself to get rid of your problems? You are a coward. Nothing but a coward villain. You will die soon, you know. Eraserhead will get tired of you and your stupid attitude, then he'll get rid of you. Sensei will find you, torture you for weeks and finally kill you. Maybe he even lets you live without a leg or two. You don't need them to make analysis at all. Hey kid, it's okay. He looks up surprised, finding a concerned Aizawa placing a hand on his shoulder. Breathe with me, okay? Izuku nods, ignoring every thought that was possibly going to cross his mind, and follows Aizawa's breath. Great. One more, okay? He nods again, breathing with the man in front of him. They do that 7 times, a break in between one from another. Are you okay? Aizawa asks, finally breaking the silence of their breaths. Izuku nods. Dream, he whispers. Do you want to talk about it? Izuku poorly looks at the man's eyes, thinking if he should. Maybe you don't want, but must need to, Aizawa says, himself unsure. It was my first day with the league, he starts. I was confused, didn't remember what exactly happened, and wanted to go back home. Hisashi told me he was my father, and I got even more upset. I didn't want to be a villain. I wanted to be a hero and save people, not destroy them. And then Hisashi came to my room, saying that he wanted to play with me. I have a lot of scars from that day. And no hero came to save me as I claimed. I just felt so insignificant, so useless. I couldn't do anything. For 10 years I didn't complain because I was afraid and I'm a coward. He says, surprising Aizawa. But you're here now. You told the authorities what happened. You didn't run away from the heroes. You were strong enough to stay still. You are going to be a hero and I'm going to help you. Me and Hisashi are here now. Izuku, you can talk to us about anything and we'll do everything we can to help you, okay? The tears won't stop. How can someone cry so much? He nods, resting his head on Aizawa's chest while trying to stop his crying. At first, Izuku feels that Aizawa is surprised and tenses his body, but not so after that. He calmly pats Izuku's head, getting comfortable. He hears footsteps that seem to be intentionally loud, not to scare him probably, and then Yamada, he assumes, finally sits on the bed, next to Aizawa. Hey there, little listener. Before rising his head, he rubs his face with one of his hands. You okay? He thinks of the question as an ironic one, considering he was crying just now. Now he's silly nightmare. Aizawa gives him a look. He had a panic attack too, and Yamada looks even more worried now. Really? You should say this type of things, Izuku. They aren't silly. They're serious problems and can affect you awfully, okay? You can tell us anything. Aizawa looks at him, practically saying, I said that just now. Izuku nods, internally smiling. Even at moments like this, they were just perfect to each other. Would you mind if I asked to sleep with you too? He asks, feeling so small at that moment, afraid of a hit that never came. Sure thing, little listener, Yamada says excitedly. Come on, let's go to our bed. You can stay on the middle, so you won't fall or anything. Izuku looks at Aizawa from the corner of his eye, and instead of a sigh, he sees a small grin on the hero's mouth. He then smiles, surprising both adults that turn their heads surprised to him. What? He asks, trying to hide his embarrassment. That was the first time he actually smiled in 6 years? Yamada just smiles and opens the door of the bedroom, him and Aizawa walking just after the voice hero. He jumps on the bed, comforting himself on the middle of it, after a few seconds being surrounded by the heat of 2 bodies, making him feel even more comfortable. He felt safe. And just that way, Izuku had his first good sleep in a long time. Izuku is awakened by the sunlight one more time, but this time it drifted in a big window, its clean glass preventing the wind to come in. Plus, this time he was safe and okay. He looks around and sees Aizawa still asleep right beside him, but not Yamada. He gets up as quietly as possible, trying not to wake the tired man, immediately hearing someone sing. It's Yamada. He thinks, walking out the bedroom and passing through the hallway. And he's cooking something that I can't recognize. He's able to smell it, but he probably never tasted it before, as he can't name it. Finally getting to the kitchen, he tries to see what the blonde is preparing. Good morning, Izuku. He greets loudly as ever, but not using his quirk. You got a bed? Head there, the hero says, leaving Izuku to wonder his situation, though he decides to ignore it and finally ask what's been in his mind. What are you making? His voice is quieter than expected but possible to hear. You never had pancakes? Yamada seems shocked and Izuku doesn't know what to say. Listening to someone's footsteps, he turns his head and sees Aizawa standing with a noticeable bed head. Nice quirk you got there, getting Izuku to wonder if his reflexes are even that great. Why the commotion though? It's freaking 8 in the morning, he complains, walking to them. Shota, little listener, said he never had pancakes. Izuku notices the look Aizawa gives him and the voice hero. So? Just get him some, no need to react like this. And make me some coffee too, he says calmly, putting his head between his arms, and for the first time Izuku sees Yamada's eyes. He's not a morning person, little listener, and goes back to the pancakes. Right after the pancakes being placed on the table, Aizawa lifts his head and drinks the coffee Yamada made him. Let's eat then. The blonde says happily, starting to eat. Izuku looks down at his plate and takes a bite of the so appreciated pancake. It's delicious, probably more than it should. He starts to eat it like there was no tomorrow, then interrupted. Whoa there, little listener, you don't need to eat so fast. You going to end up throwing up like that? Yamada says, getting Izuku to slow down. Izuku can't exactly remember how many pancakes he had, maybe 3. He's not used to eat so much, but he couldn't help himself, but he is sure they tasted amazing. He's having a really good time with the pro heroes, just wishing that it lasts long. It definitely feels like he's dreaming. The 3 of them are sitting on the sofa, watching some weird random comedy program on the TV when Aizawa suddenly spits out. We're going to UA. Izuku chokes, staring at the man. We're what? Yamada seems surprised too, but Aizawa just looks indifferent. I told you yesterday I'd help you become a hero. We're going to need a lot of training so you can pass the UA entrance exams next year. Izuku is completely shocked, so he doesn't say anything. He's right. I'm sure you'll become a great hero someday. I can help you too. The biggest smile is found on the blonde's face and Izuku can't help but cry. Again, but this time a big smile is making company to his tears. Sorry for crying so much. He tries to stop but can't help it. I never really thought that this was even possible to happen, so the only thing I can do is cry and thank you both, he says, rubbing the tears away, and once again he's being hugged. You're going to make it, Izuku, Yamada says, and his smile grows wider. They are on their way to you. Izuku changed to more academic clothes and is mumbling on the back seat about things he never tested of his quirk. We have 10 months, kid, I'm sure you'll do great, Aizawa says, after announcing that they're there. Izuku gets out of the car and stares at the school. Whoa, he gasped, is huge. Come on, we're going to the grounds to train your quirk, Aizawa says, guiding them. We'll do softball throwing, standing long jump, 50-meter dash, endurance running, grip strength, side-to-side stepping and seated toe touch. Do you remember your punctuation on these in middle school? Not all of them. That's okay, Izuku. I'm sure you'll improve a lot in the time we have, Yamada says. He takes a deep breath and nods. Let's start with the 50-meter dash. Do you remember this one? He nods. 7.49. Aizawa sighs, possibly for the 40th time since they met. We can for sure make that better. How much energy can you put on your legs? Izuku's head falls on his shoulder. I don't know exactly, he says. His job was to write things down. He rarely went outside. Okay, so you'll try to focus the bigger amount of energy you have on your legs, ready? Izuku takes another deep breath. I can do this, focusing on his lower members. Go! When Izuku is back, he looks at Aizawa with nothing more than hope in his eyes. 4.88, the man says flatly. Izuku twitches his eyes. Is that good? It's great, little listener. Imagine how much more you can improve, Yamada says, making him smile. 5.08 on the dash, 51 kilograms on grip strength, on standing long jump you just jumped the whole sheet dash. Language, Shota. He's a kid, Yamada interrupts him, which he ignores and keeps talking. On sidestepping you did 40, endurance running, well, you need to focus on keep running and not running faster. You can improve your seated toe touch, we need to work on upper body training and you broke your F. Shota. Aizawa sighs, the kid had cursed to him once, they aren't news to the boy. You broke your freaking finger throwing that diamond ball. Any explanations? Izuku is staring at the ground, embarrassed. I discovered a new thing about my quirk, he says looking up at the men who looked now confused. Emotional energy is a thing too. If I'm not able to control it, I'll overpower the amount of energy I transfer and probably end up breaking a bone. There's also the possibility of me passing out if I get even more nervous, especially because I'm using my quirk for more than 1 hour now and my head is hurting a lot. There's also the fact that if I'm too tired or don't want to do something I won't be able to control my emotional energy, which is rather obvious. I know that because one day I was asked to break a wall, and well I was only 5 and didn't want to, so I ended up breaking my hand. I didn't think it was a thing at the time, but now it apparently is. Therefore if I want to do something I'll have to be able to control my emotional energy or I'll end up overdoing it. Okay, hold on, let me see if I got this right. Izuku does as said and looks at the blonde who talks again. You need to be able to control your emotional energy or we'll break bones. Izuku nods. Plus you're really tired and with a headache right now. Izuku looks away and nods again. He didn't think he could get more embarrassed. Why didn't you tell us that before, kid? The man says, pulling him by the arm softly and making him sit on a bench near them. Sorry, he can feel Aizawa's look over him. We'll have to work on your selfless attitude too, problem child. Izuku scratches the back of his neck and looks at them again. Let's go, kid, you need to get some rest. We'll come back another day. Tomorrow is Sunday and there's no way I'll come to UA on a weekend twice. Izuku smiles and follows his parents back to the car. Parents is a new word to him. He feels like he's becoming a new, good person. Izuku is quite happy, he'd say. Shota, we ran out of rice. Izuku hears Yamada scream while ending his shower. We're almost running out of toilet paper too, he thinks walking out of the bathroom. He puts on some clothes and walks to the living room. I can go to the market, we're running out of others things too. Yamada looks at him, at Aizawa, then at him again. I don't know, Izuku, are you sure you want to go all alone like this? Yes, worried. The market is 1 block away from here, I'll be fine. Aizawa sighs. Let the kid go, Hisashi. But look at me. Izuku tenses and looks at the man's eyes. You're taking your phone with you and are going to call if you hear anyone, I repeat, anyone walking with you. I don't care how plain they may look, safety comes first. Oh, and I changed your phone's username too, hope you don't take it as an offense. Izuku wonders what changes. The man did, but smiles ignoring it. I'll be fine, once again it's 1 block. Do we need anything else? Yamada nods and starts to write down a list. Izuku picks up his phone, the list and leaves. I'm out. Izuku's trip to the market is quiet, he doesn't hear anyone and not even an animal crosses his way there. He gets everything he needs and is about to go back home, when he hears crying. Izuku hears crying. He immediately follows it, going to the opposite way home, but to the crying. He finds a boy sitting on the floor with his back to a wall, hugging his knees. He looked familiar, but that's not what Izuku needed to worry about now. He gets closer and sits down beside him. Hey, can I help you somehow? He asks softly and calmly, not wanting to scare the boy. Unfortunately, the boy flinches, but doesn't say anything. I'm not going to hurt you, I'm probably your age, he says quietly, and that, somehow, called the boy's attention. That's when he recognizes him. Todoroki Shuto, one of Endeavor's children, the kid he was sure that was abused by his father because of his researches on the pro-hero. He has his red hair covering his left eye, where Izuku knows is a big burn scar. He feels like a big butt stalker, but decides to ignore the feeling. Can I? Izuku asks, softly lifting his hand. If you really want to, Todoroki replies, and it almost goes unheard. Izuku moves away the red hair from his eye and smiles. It's appealing, Todoroki's eyes wide in surprise. It's gross. It's a part of you. It proves how strong you are, and shows that you are okay now. You went through what you did and you're okay. You only need to accept it, and accept yourself. He pauses thinking if he should say what he has on mind. You're not what your father wants you to be. You are you, and you are the one who writes your own life. It doesn't matter what he says or do, you're your own, you're not an object or a trophy, you're your life's hero. Who are you? Todoroki asks, looking up at his eyes. You can call me Izuku. Izuku smiles brightly, pulling out of his pocket a small piece of paper and a pen, writing down his number on it. Todoroki is left behind without a chance of protesting. Izuku leaves of embarrassment, hoping he would text or call whenever he needed. It's not like I planned this, I just had a piece of paper in the case I needed it, not to write my phone number because of someone. Oh, I imagine how weird I sounded. What does he think of me? Saying those things about his personal life, he must think I'm a stalker. And even giving my first name. I promised myself I would introduce myself as Deku, now he probably think it's even more weird for me wanting him to call me by my first name. Gosh, I just felt empathy, I've been through the same I guess. What would Shota thinks about this? Shota? Since when did I start calling him by his first name too? Maybe it's because Yamada calls him like that all the time. Kid, you're mumbling, Shota says at the front door, and Izuku finds himself home again, not remembering getting there. I brought everything, I'll leave the change on the table, he says, ignoring the thoughts and bringing the bags to the kitchen. Did something happen? Shota asks behind him with his arms crossed. Izuku sighs. Actually, yes, I just met one of Endeavor's sons. After explaining to Yamada and Shota what happened, listening to things like, something could have happened, don't you do that again, and, it could be a villain trying to fool you, Yamada started to cook dinner, Shota went for a shower and Izuku was on the floor in front of the TV, watching the news. He notices that Eraserhead was the hero who defeated the villain of the news, but there was no videos or pictures, so he starts to mumble, imagining how was the fight, writing it down on one of his new notebooks. So if Shoyuda can do that without needing to take dash. Did you just call him Shoyuda? Yamada asks, ignoring everything else and interrupting his mumbling. Did I? He doesn't know if he should be embarrassed, that's the way he calls the underground hero on his head. Probably. You can call me Hizashi too, you know, I'd be very happy, the blonde says with a big smile. Okay, Izuku replies, also smiling. His phone vibrates on his pocket, surprising him as to who just messaged him. It says, Shoto. Hi, it's Todoroki. I'm texting you because you left your number, but I'm not sure what to say. Izuku vibrates, thinking of an appropriate answer. It's okay, I left my number so we could talk. There's a pause, and Izuku wonders if he should say something when he finally realizes that his name is Tired. He did look tired most part of the time. Shota has a point when saying they looked alike on that aspect. Then Todoroki sends another message, breaking off his thoughts. So your name is Izuku? Which is awkward, because now he has to explain why he gave his first name to a stranger. My first name is... I prefer being called by it or just Deku. And by the way, are you free tomorrow? I kinda want to know you better. It's okay if you don't want to, though, I understand. It's weird coming from someone you just met, and I said those things too. He awaits an answer nervously, having to reread it when it comes. You can explain it all to me in person. Same place at 2? He smiles. Sure. See you there. What are you so happy about, Izuku? Hizashi asks, showing up right behind him, trying to sneak and see his phone. Izuku turns it off and tries to keep calm. I'm going to meet him tomorrow, the man gasps in a smile. Endeavor's son? He's loud, but not using his quirk. Yeah, he told me to meet him at 2 on the same place. We're probably going somewhere else, we can't stay on the streets like that. He then starts to wonder if he should bring money. It's a date. Hizashi says, using his quirk, making Izuku look at him almost disgusted. What? No, it's not, we barely know each other. We'll just talk. Before any of them be able to open their mouths, they're interrupted. What the hell's happening here? Shota says, coming back from his shower. Izuku has a date. Hisashi says, all cheered up, turning his head to his husband, who looked uncertain about the situation. Endeavor's child? It's not a date. Izuku says, unintentionally too loud, trying to convince both his parents and himself. Wow there, kid, calm down, I never saw you angry before. Mind to clarify the situation? Izuku takes a deep breath and tries to explain it. First of all, I'm sorry for screaming. Basically, I asked to meet him because I want to know him better, but not in that way. I just want to be friends like I want to help him. I know better than anyone what he's going through, and he may need someone who understands. Or at least that's what I think. Shota gets closer and sits down on the sofa behind him, making him turn his head. Are you planning to tell him? Hisashi seems more interested and gets closer. I don't know. I'll just tell him what he needs to hear or whatever I'm comfortable with saying. He sighs. Hisashi just smiles. You're a really good person, Izuku, saying that and going back to cooking, leaving just Shota to talk to him. You must do what you think is better, kid, and I think that what you're doing for him is great. Just keep it like that. Izuku smiles with the advice, turning back to his mumbling and notes, just to hear Shoyuta whispers not for the first time. DMN Media. Izuku struggles with dinner. He wasn't used to more than one meal per day, and that clearly gets both his parents concerned. He eats barely half of it, but neither Hisashi nor Shoyuta say anything. They decide to watch a movie, making Izuku watch The Lion King for the first time. At first he thought he couldn't cry watching a kid's movie, but he did. And then again with Spirited Away, WALL-E, My Neighbor Totoro, and before he could do something, he falls asleep on the couch between the heroes. Suddenly, it's morning and he isn't on the couch. He finds himself on his soft bed. Izuku gets up confused, walking to the kitchen where he finds Hisashi and Shota eating together. What time is it? Hisashi looks up surprised. Good morning, Izuku. I believe it's something like 1 p.m. I was late with lunch today. Izuku murmurs something and sit with them, in front of a well-placed meal. When did I fall ASL? Wait a minute. Did you just say 1 p.m.? Shota looks at him with what anyone would call a straight face, but Izuku'd say confused. Yeah, it's 1:30. Why, kid? He gasps, getting up. I'm meeting Todoroki in 30 minutes. I didn't even take a shower, he says nervously, almost ignoring the fact that he slept a lot more than he's used to. He's really surprised. Little listener, go ahead, I'll go to your room and pick some clothes that won't make you look like you just woke up, Hisashi says, leaving the table and Shota, who's clearly lost. Izuku walks to the bathroom, already undressing. Shower taken, Izuku walks to his room with a towel wrapped around his waist. There he finds on his bed a long gray shirt, ordinary jeans, a jeans jacket to match, and his red sneakers. The jacket wasn't his, but he wears it anyways, walking to the living room. Whose jacket is this? He asks and immediately notices Shoyuta widens his eyes. It was Hisashi's back in high school. I'm surprised it fits you. Izuku smiles softly. Izu, you still have 10 minutes, won't you eat anything? Hisashi asks, surprising Izuku with the nickname, but he drops it. It sounds good. I don't think so. I don't know if we're going somewhere else. Sounds like a bad idea to eat now if we're eating too. Hisashi scratches his nape. Yeah, I guess you're right. And I hope you become good friends, little listener. You're super soft and kind. I'm sure he'll think so too, so cheer up. Izuku smiles and nods. It's okay, he tells himself. I think I'm going, don't want to make him wait. I'll call you if anything happens. Before closing the door behind him, he hears Shoyuta says, Take care, problem child. Izuku nervously walks to the market. There he stops and takes a deep breath. Okay, let's do this, he thinks, and starts walking the same way he did the day before. Getting there, he leans his back against the wall and checks his phone. 1:55 p.m. Okay, that's fine. I'm not late, not too early. And before he can do anything else, he feels someone touching his shoulder, jumping of his position to a defensive one. Hey, it's me. Finally recognizing who said it, Izuku sees Todoroki confused in front of him. He sighs, relaxing himself. Hey, he says awkwardly, acting like nothing happened. It's okay. Ready to go? Sure, he replies, thankful that Todoroki didn't question his weird reaction. He walks beside Todoroki for a while, when he finally decides to ask him what's been bothering his mind. Where are we going? Todoroki looks at him with his straight face. To a cafe nearby, we can talk better there. Izuku nods, thinking if the boy is always this serious. Moments later, Todoroki stops, making him stop too. We're here, he says. They then enter a normal but sophisticated-looking cafe, sitting on a table by the window. I'll have a cup of black coffee, Todoroki says when a waiter approaches them. Oh, I'll have a cup of milk, please, Izuku says, embarrassed. He was daydreaming in front of the boy who probably thinks he's weird. It can't get worse than this. The waiter leaves. There's no time for an uncomfortable tension, because Todoroki starts talking. So, want to start by how do you know that my father is the problem? Izuku swallows dry. I can't really, you see, Yes, Izuku should have just kept his mouth shut. Todoroki stares at him, waiting for an answer. I don't know if I can should just tell you everything, so I'll just try to explain you in a simple way. Todoroki nods on a way Izuku dares to say that he's actually curious, but wouldn't bet on it. So, I was kidnapped when I was 4. I was kept away from everyone, and was obligated to work for them. I couldn't escape, so my only options were to work or to die. My job there was to give them all type of information about all heroes, so one of my first targets was your father. I watched him for 2 or 3 months, and couldn't help but see the things he did to you. I also wasn't able to help you, but I'm apologizing for not even trying. Things could be different now if I helped you back there. I'm not working for them anymore. I was recently saved by 2 pro heroes and also adopted by them, so no need to be afraid of me or anything. I'm also apologizing for the way I acted yesterday. You probably think I'm weird for just saying those things, and I didn't even Izuku is interrupted by Todoroki. You apologize too much. There's no need for that. I understand your reasons, and I should also apologize for what happened to you. I hope we can get along well, Izuku. He gives Todoroki a big smile. He would do his best to be friends with him. Just after that, their drinks arrive and Izuku thanks the waiter. Don't you like black coffee? Todoroki asks, and Izuku looks up uncertain. It's not that I don't like it, more that I can't stand it. I taste everything twice stronger, so unless the coffee isn't bitter at all I can't drink it. I ended up kind of addicted to milk. He scratches the back of the neck, embarrassed. Who was addicted to milk? Todoroki simply nods, letting Izuku to wonder if he should try a real conversation. Are you applying to UA next year? He asks and immediately regrets it. Of course he was applying to UA. He's Endeavor's son. Yes, I'm one of the recommended students. Are you applying to it as well? Yes, Izuku says, excited. They both take a sip of their drinks. Then Todoroki opens his mouth to say something again, and Izuku's surprised by how he's good in keeping up conversations. What's your quirk? You obviously already know mine, so I hope you don't mind me asking. He looks surprised at him. No, not at all. He takes a deep breath and starts. It's called vitality. I can transfer my energy to specific parts of my body, improving their functions, including my 5 senses. I also have the habit of mumbling. That's because I'm always unconsciously transferring energy to my brain, so I think too fast and too many things at the same time. Recently I discovered that I have emotional energy too, so if I'm not able to control it I'll overdo and probably break a bone, so I have to be in a good mental state to do things. When he finally stops, he looks at Todoroki, who looked quite startled. Oh no. Was I speaking too fast? I'm sorry, I know it's weird and once again he's interrupted. I already said that there's no need for you to apologize. There's no problem with that. Izuku looks at him astonished. Right, so he stops. Okay, I guess. And on that moment Todoroki does something that Izuku thought he'd never witness. Todoroki smiled. It just made him so happy that he couldn't help but smile too. They spend the rest of the day talking about their lives, most likely Izuku talking about how it was to live with 2 pro heroes. He hadn't stayed home alone yet because Hizashi and Shoyuta took a little break from work, but they'd be back by Monday, so Izuku's still planning what he'd be doing on his free time. He's also surprised by how much he talked. It felt good to be able to talk freely after all this time. You can come over my house if you'd like. Maybe when my father isn't there, so it's better if you text me before you do. Todoroki offers, and Izuku couldn't be happier. I think I'll study by my own when I can. I haven't discussed it with my parents yet, but I don't feel like getting a home teacher and I'm not going back to school either. Todoroki looks puzzled. And why is that? I had some issues with my classmates, so they opted for me just staying home. Todoroki nods, probably understanding what he meant. I see. There's a small pause before he talks again. I'm going to get something to eat. Do you want anything? Oh, I'm not really hungry. Don't worry, thank you. Todoroki looks unsure, but doesn't bother. Izuku then decided he'd talk his mind. Probably a bad idea, but it was too late when he realized. You're way too formal and serious, why don't you try to let loose a bit? Silence. Or maybe don't, I just said it because you sound a little too formal. I'm S-. He stops, feeling the intense glare coming from the boy. I hope you weren't planning to apologize again. I'll try to be more like myself around you. I am like this because, well, you already know the whole story. Was that okay? There's a little break between the statement and the question, where Todoroki seemed a bit uncertain. Yes. That was great. Izuku smiles. Isn't it weird to just give your first name to people like this? Todoroki asks after eating. Izuku knew this question would be brought up at some point. He sighs. I don't really intend to give people my first name. You were just, an exception? I kind of felt empathy and said it. I'll probably ask people to call me Deku. The boy in front of him looked intrigued. You said it on a text, I don't really get it. To be honest, it doesn't sound like a real name. It's the nickname Kaken gave me. My childhood friend, I guess? I studied with him in middle school too, but he was kind of the big bully, so I don't know what our relationship is now. He didn't remember me, apparently, which's good, because I was still with my father, Izuku says, and starts to wonder what would right? He needs to stop calling him that too. Katsuki do if he found out that he is actually the Deku he knew 10 years ago, but his thoughts are stopped by Todoroki's voice. There's someone calling you, and there is. Izuku picks up his vibrating phone of the table, answering the call. It's Shota. Hello. He says, confused. Demon kid, do you know what time it is? You got us worried as hell. I'd appreciate if you'd come home, it's already getting dark. Izuku takes his phone away of his ear, to look at the time. Sheet, he mumbles. 6:07 p.m. it said. Okay, I'm coming, I'm sorry, I lost track of time. He can hear Shota sighing on the other side. It's fine, just come back already, he says before hanging up. Got to go? Todoroki asks flatly. Yeah, I'm sorry too, just leaving like this. The boy eyesides him, but doesn't say anything. Right? See you next time? I'll probably text you, but I don't know, he says getting up and being followed by Todoroki. Mind if I accompany you? Izuku looks confused. Sure, any reason in specific? To his jolt, Todoroki scratches the back of his neck, embarrassed. I kind of want to see who you're living with. You talked really well about them but never who they were, but if you don't want me to go it's okay. Oh no, Izuku exclaims. It's fine. I just hope you don't have a problem with same-sex marriage. Izuku knows that Hisashi isn't recognizable when comfortable at home, hair down and normal glasses, plus, chances of Todoroki knowing Eraserhead were lower than 10%. Izuku quietly hoped that Todoroki wouldn't recognize him. He'd be in a lot of trouble. Oh no, I like boys too, Izuku chokes. You sure are direct. They start walking back, Izuku leading. Is that a bad thing? I just thought I could tell you, we do have a lot in common. At least I think so. Izuku curses himself under his breath. Well, it depends on who you're talking to, I really appreciate it, he smiles. Todoroki simply nods. Their walk home was silent, but not an awkward one, a comfortable one. Getting there, Izuku takes a deep breath and knocks the door, which is opened by a tired-looking Shota. You're late, problem child. Then he notices Todoroki. And he stares. I'm Todoroki Shoto, sir. It's nice to meet you. Izuku holds back a nervous smile. Why did he agree with this again? And why are you here? Before Izuku could say anything, Hisashi loudly comes to sight. Don't be rude, Shota. Come in, kids. They timidly walk in, Izuku trying to decide if he wants to laugh or cry, and Todoroki thinking if he should be afraid of the dead-looking man that greeted him. They sit on the table. Shota stands up, his arms crossed. So? He asks, breaking the obnoxious silence. He just wanted to accompany me home, Izuku says, trying to chill the tension. See Sho? Nothing to worry about. Now can you please stop staring at the kid like you want to kill him? Sho Yuta sighs, sitting along. It's not like I don't want to, he mutters loud enough to be heard. Shota. Izuku giggles. Okay, I get it. Now, Izuku, mind telling us why he's here? And you know what I mean. He gulps and looks away. It's not like he knows you both. He feels an intense stare towards him, suddenly remembering one of the times Hisashi hit him for being unpleasant. And I trust him. Sorry for not asking if I could. It's totally fine. Want to stay for dinner, kid? Hisashi asks Todoroki, a smile on his face. No, thank you. I have to be home in 15 minutes. Izuku looks at him worried, trying to push away the flashback. Yeah, it's better if you don't be late. He knows that what he says sounds like another thing, but he doesn't want Todoroki being punished because of him. Okay then. It was great to meet you. You should come more often. The voice hero says, getting up, making all of them but Shota to do the same. Izuku walks along Todoroki to the door, where he says goodbye. I'll text you, take care. Todoroki nods with a tiny smile, turning his back and walking down the stairs. Izuku closes the door and turns around. Sho Yuta was intensely staring at him, and Hisashi had the dumbest grin he ever saw. Oh, don't even start. I know what you're going to say, so don't. If even possible, the Hisashi's grin grows wider. Oh yeah? So mine to explain. Izuku growls, throwing himself on the couch. His dad is like extremely restricting with him. I just don't want him to be in trouble because of me. Sho Yuta wearily sighs, walking to him and sitting on the other couch. Right, kid? So you seem to have succeeded and really well on your goal. How did it go? Izuku gets up excited. It was great. At first I thought he was all serious. In the end I found out he's not even straight. Both his parents choked. Just like that. Hisashi laughed at him. Yeah. He's pretty sincere. Then the memory is back to his mind. He curses. Is there something bothering you? Hisashi asks, Shota watching them. I'm sorry that I just brought him here without asking you guys. Maybe he could have recognized you. I was just so happy that I had a new friend that I didn't even think about it. Shota sighs, making Izuku more scared than before. Hisashi smiles. It's fine, Izu, you can bring him more times. Just, avoid it when we're not home. Izuku nods, smiling. There's no need to be anxious at all. After that, Izuku was forced to eat half of the dinner that, this time, Sho Yuta helped Hisashi to prepare. He made his hygiene and went to bed, mentally preparing himself. Tomorrow he'd start a completely new schedule and a whole new different training. Because starting tomorrow, he is going to do his best to reach his dream. Midoriya Aizawa Izuku is going to be a hero. We can't just let him like that. He might tell heroes or whatever the sheet and we're F'd. He'd easily behave with a torture and dash. He suddenly felt an intense staring and stopped talking. Forget the kid, Hisashi. The only one I'll get rid of will be you if you don't obey me. We already moved to this place, he won't find us here. Now, I'll introduce you to the new prodigy, Shigaraki Tamura. A gray-haired boy entered the room, and even not being able to see his face, Hisashi was sure that he was smiling. Yo. 10 months passed and a lot of things changed. Izuku actually slept 6-7 hours per day, and could eat 2 whole meals too. But regardless that, he improved a lot. He trained every day, with or without Shuta's or Hisashi's help. He studied a lot too, even when his parents weren't present, he would study as much as he could. He is 10 times what he was 10 months ago, and he's extremely proud of himself. He can pretty well control his emotional energy, and his time energizing a part of his body went from 38 minutes to 1 hour and a half. Izuku can now as well balance almost perfectly his energy with a stable emotional energy, and his headaches were no longer such a problem, even if still one. He also learned that he can decrease the amount of energy on his ears when on a crowded place, or when there is too much noise. As much as he could bring up some self-confidence, he still struggles with trusting issues, anxiety, on bad days a nightmare, a flashback. He learned that PTSD was a thing. He's glad that he was able to improve so much. With Shuta's, Hizashi's, Aunt Nemuri's she's obsessed with his cuteness, Uncle Toshi's he always gave the best advice, and even better, he was All Might's closest friend. And for sure Shoto's help. Without them, he would obviously not be the person he is today. Most of his thanks go to Shoto, because he understands him. And talk to someone who understands is better than just vent to people who'll just tell you that it'll be okay. His relationship with him was a lot better too, they were really close now. Best friends, Izuku'd say. The boy knew his whole life, since his BRH until the present days. It was the UA's entrance exams morning. Izuku woke up as hyperactive as ever. He gets up and dresses his daily clothes, heading to the kitchen, where Hizashi was preparing breakfast. Little listener, can you tell Shoyuta that breakfast's ready? I'll set the table. Izuku nods. Not wanting to get up, he decides to do something easier. Dad, breakfast is ready. His voice getting lower each letter, when Shoyuta finally appears on the hall with a straight face. Gasping in embarrassment, Izuku starts. Oh God, I'm so sorry, I didn't intend to, it's just tea dash. Shoyuta cuts him off, walking to them. Come on, kid, there's no problem with that, it's not like we're not your fathers or something, Hizashi gasps. What about me? No fair. I want to be called Dad too. Izuku smiles without knowing what to say. He couldn't think of a way to call him other than. I'll call you Pa, he says on an almost whisper. Yeah, Shoyuta sighs, even though Izuku could see that he was hiding a smile. Hizashi. The kid? Izuku once again laughs. Gosh, he's so happy. Oh right, sorry. A great way to start the day, he thinks, eating his eggs, once ready. Calm down, kid, you've been twitching your fingers the whole morning. Hizashi and I will be there, we still having 1 hour until it begins, and you will do fine. You are like All Might compared to what you were 10 months ago, I'm sure you'll do just fine on the exam. Shoyuta assures him. Yeah. Shuta's right. I bet you can at least get top 3. So cheer up. Hizashi smiles, causing Izuku to do either. But then his thoughts are filled with another thing. Wait, what about my name on the examination result? Izuku panics. Chill, Izuku, only your first name will be there. If anyone asks, Nedzu already has an excuse and no commotions will happen. You can introduce yourself with a nickname too or whatever, Shoyuta calmly says. Izuku sighs in relief. He takes a deep breath. Thanks, he murmurs before turning back his attention to the eggs. He is in front of UA now. Not like any other day of intense training, but to finally see if he can become a hero. His dads already walked in to prepare themselves, and he was left by the big gate in front of him. Taking a long deep breath, he out of my way, he freezes. Looking behind him, Katsuki stands staring at him, but he doesn't move. No, he doesn't obey to Kaken's orders anymore. He's not the same Deku. Get out of my way or you're dead. Oh. Izuku doesn't move. Almost taking him down, Katsuki passes him without a word. Well, it looks like I wasn't the only one who changed attitude. I hope you're better now, Katsuki, he thinks, finally being able to walk, but then he trips. Oh come on, he mutters, ready to face the ground, which he didn't. Opening his eyes, he's floating. What Ash? Are you okay? A girl with brown hair asks him, but first he gets up properly. It's my quirk, sorry for stopping you but. Well, it's a bad omen to trip and fall, she says with a smile. Thank you, he murmurs. Yeah. Good luck to both of us, she speaks before walking away. Wow. He thinks, besides Aunt Nemuri, this is the first time I actually talked to a girl in like 10 months. That he walks in. Welcome to today's live performance. He immediately takes away the energy from his ears. Hizashi was so loud. Everybody say, hey. This isn't your radio show. He wants to say out loud. No one says a thing after all, so he keeps going. Well, that's cool, my examinee listeners. I'm here to present the guidelines of your practical. Are you ready? And Izuku makes himself almost deaf. WhatIf silence. He's a complete disaster. Something like a map appears on the screen behind the hero. This is how the test will go, my listeners. You'll be experiencing 10 minutes long mock cityscape maneuvers. Bring along whatever you want. After this presentation, You'll each head to your assigned testing location. Okay? And again, nothing but silence. Then Katsuki talks. That's so kids from the same middle school can't hell each other out, yeah? Is he talking to him? Like for real? And why consecutive ID numbers are assigned to different locations? He mutters to himself, but apparently Katsuki hears it. I'll crush 'em all. But you get to live another day, he lies. If it wasn't Dad, I wouldn't even be here because of you, he thinks angrily. Each site is filled with 3 kinds of faux villains. Points are awarded for defeating each according to their respective difficulty levels. Use your quirks to disable these faux villains. Hizashi makes a dramatic pause, and earn points. That's your goal, listeners. Of course, plating the antihero and attacking other examinees is prohibited. It doesn't sound that hard, Izuku thinks, but there's something bothering him. May I ask a question? A boy in glasses gets up and yeah, there goes Izuku's motivation to do the same. There appear to be no fewer than 4 varieties of faux villain on this handout. Such a blatant error, if it is one, is highly unbecoming for UA, Japan's top academy. We're all here today in the hopes of being molded into model heroes. And Izuku finally recognizes him, of course, Ingenium's younger brother. And you with the curly hair, he points to him, making him shivers. You've been muttering this whole time. It's distracting. If this is some sort of game to you, then please leave immediately, he's been muttering. Sorry. He can see Hizashi twitching his eyes. Alright, sorry. Examinee 7111, nice catch. Thanks. But the 4th faux villain variety gets you 0 points. He's more of an obstacle. Have you all played Super Mario Bros? It's kind of like a thwomp. Only one at each site. A gimmick that'll rampage around in close quarters. People saying things like it being just like a video game, but Izuku kind of already knew this. Of course he didn't know about the whole test, but it's inevitable to hear some things about it sometimes. Thank you, sir. I apologize for the interruption, the boy says, sitting down. That's all from me. I'll leave my listeners with our school motto. The great hero Napoleon Bonaparte once said, true heroism is being superior to the ills of life. Plus ultra. Break a leg, everyone. Once already changed clothes, Izuku heads to the city. So big. He hasn't been on this side of UA before, as he just came for his training. Then Izuku sees the girl from before, so he walks to her to thank her once again. That girl seems to be doing some kind of meditation. Why you here? Hoping to interfere, Diamond, this boy won't mind his own business. I was hoping to thank her for something she did to me, so please, don't jump into conclusions when you don't even know me. He spits out angry, he's not on the mood to this things, gosh, he only wants to take the exam. The boy seems surprised, but before being able to say anything, and begin. What's wrong? The test started. Run. F dash. This is not a good start. So he runs. He focuses his energy on his legs and runs. The die is cast. It's not hard to blow up the villains. They're all machines, not that strong, so far he hasn't broken no bones. 28 points. He hears the girl from before. 45 points, and the boy. 32, someone says from behind. Izuku counts it's fine. He can do it. Such a wide battlefield and limited time brings out the best in them. There are those who can assess the situation in an instant, the intelligence gatherers. Those who'll never be late to the party, mobility experts. Those who can cope with any given situation, decision makers. Those who are natural-born warriors. And then there are those who will do their best to win over any situation. The abilities needed to preserve peace in our cities are judged by the points they earn. It begins now. This year's quite the bumper, see, huh? One says. No way to know yet. Maybe yet. But this should tell us more to gimmick that'll rampage around in close quarters. It's completely overwhelming. People show their true colors when they face that thing. There are a lot of expectations. We believe in you, Izuku. 2 certain pro-heroes murmur on the room. Is that the 0-pointer? Izuku gasps. Too bad I won't gain anything from it, he says, walking away. Ow, he looks at his back. The girl is there on the floor. Sheet. When there's nothing to be gained, raising to the challenge at those times is surely the mark of a true hero. He's not emotionally prepared, Diamin, before realizing his whole energy is focused on his arms and legs and the 0-pointer is down. If it couldn't get any worse, he's falling. Falling. Phew, I'm falling. And his arm is broke. Can this get any worse? It's been 10 months and he couldn't contain it. He feels like he didn't improve at all. But before facing the ground, he is slapped on the face. And don't fall. Bless this girl and her quirk. Release. She brings her fingers together, and he faces the ground. Well, at least it's not that painful. It's all over. He can hear voices of all different people around him, but the pain on his arms won't allow him to move and see a thing. Well done, good work. Haribo candy for all, eat up. And Chio. That mademoiselle. She's the backbone of you. Some boy says, Izuku can't see him though. Won't you stop being so reckless, boy? She says, getting closer, I'm an old woman, you know, I can't always come to heal you. He giggles, then she gives him her kiss, immediately healing his arms, so he calmly closes his eyes. Are you really sure you don't want to know the results, Izuku? Hisashi asks him while he's spacing out during dinner. I'm sure, Pa. It's the 7th time on the week you ask me this. I don't want to have privileges just because you both work there. Plus, you said the letter will be here today, I'll just wait as everyone else. He smiles, trying to calm himself down, and as always, Shoyuta nods, tired as ever. I'm sure you did well, Aizu, Shoto said the day after the exam. I failed. I thought I was able to control my emotional energy and I don't even know why I wasn't stable. He silently cries. They're on Shoto's room. You were stressed. First your childhood friend, then Ingenium's brother. You were already nervous, they only made it worse. But I'm sure you passed. You said you are sure that you passed the written portion. Izuku nods. And you counted at least 48 points. He nods again, wiping away the tears on his face. You didn't fail, Aizu. You did perfectly well, and I'm sure everything is gonna be okay, right? You are the one who always cheer me up and here I am. It's okay, Izuku wants to hug him, and so he does. At first he thinks Shoto isn't going to hug him back. Regardless their proximity, Izuku never hugged him. But Shoto hugs him back, and he's crying again. Izuku! Izuku, the letter. It's here. Hisashi screams, walking in his room, leaving it with him and walking out. Izuku stares at it for some seconds, taking a deep breath and opening it. A small projector falls from it, making a screen appears in front of him. This is a projection. Izuku gasps. All Might? He never really saw him in person. This was a good surprise. I'm in town for one reason only. I've come to teach at you. Whoa there, Izuku is sure surprised now. You passed the written portion with almost perfect score, my boy. Your practical result was for sure pleasant as well. But did he pass? But that's not the end of the story. Let me entertain you. Please watch the screen. Then the brown-haired girl appeared. Excuse me, but... She came to see us right after the test. Why yes? Stay tuned. All Might interrupts, getting him impatient. That curly-haired boy. With freckles. You know the one. Really plain looking. Can you give me some of the points I earned? What? It felt like he gave up on many points when he rescued me. I want to reciprocate what he did for me. All Might comes back to screen, but Izuku already lost his words. You've moved others with your actions. That boy. He saved my life. What was happening? This exam, you see. We weren't just watching for villain-based points. A hero course that rejects those who do the right thing is no hero course at all. Think this is all for the cameras. What you want. In this job, you risk your life and put money where your mouth is. What the hell? Rescue points were also a factor here. Another fundamental way for UA to evaluate you. 60 rescue points for Izuku. And while at it, 45 for Uraraka Ochako. What the F dash? Drin. Come now, Izuku. This will be your Hero Academy. A table of points appears. On first place Izuku with 48 villain points and 60 rescue points. On second place Bakugo Katsuki with 77 villain points and no resc. He couldn't put the words together anymore. He did it? On first place? I did it. IF did it. He started to desperately cry. He did it. He would be a hero. He would prove Hisashi that no matter what he would save people. He did it. I'm so proud of you, Izuku. He only notices Hisashi and Shoyuta when they involve him in a hug. I did it, he cries, holding his parents and just letting it go, crying as much as he could, because he is going to be a hero. Izuku never slept so well in his life. Izuku never felt so happy on his whole life. He's happily eating breakfast with his parents the next morning. I never thought I could see this kid more hyperactive than he already is, Shoyuta remarks, making him and Hisashi to laugh. And we're happy to see that. Seeing you happy makes us happy, little listener. Oh, and now that I recall, Namuri and Toshinori are coming to visit you today. We're all gonna celebrate your success. Izuku smiles. Can I call Shoto? He timidly asks. I'm telling you, Zashi, that kid is going to get us in trouble someday. Ignoring Shoyuta, Hisashi nods. Sure thing. But what does Dad mean with dash? Izuku is interrupted. Then they love to do it. Anyways, they're coming anytime now, so I'd recommend you both to eat faster. Shoyuta stops for a moment. Are you serious? He sighs, more tired than usual, and finishes meal, leaving Izuku to stare at the food in front of him. I can't eat more than this. Both look at him. But you barely ate half of it. Hisashi exclaims. I know I just can't, I'm sorry. I can save it for later if dash. No. Food is better when warm. I'll take care of the dishes. You can go change and send a text to Todoroki telling him that he can come already, the blonde says, getting up and taking his plate to the sink. He nods and walks to his room, already texting Shoto. He changes his clothes, and when he sits on the couch someone is behind the door. He excitedly opens it before even them to knock the door. Aunt Namuri, he greets her with a hug. I'm so proud of you, Izuku. I bought you something too. He looks at her in curiosity. What about me, my boy? Someone says behind her, reminding Izuku of Toshinori. Uncle Toshi. Sorry I forgot about you, he jokes, giving him a tight hug. You see, Toshinori, my gifts always buy the kids attention. Izuku laughs, and Shoyuta closes the door. We really can never guess what you're giving him next time you visit. They all sit on the living room, Izuku on the floor, opening the package. Oh my, I'm going to wear this right now. Izuku runs to the bathroom with the gift on his hands, leaving behind 3 confused men and a laughing woman. When he comes back, wearing a more than proud smile and his hands on his waist, he's wearing a onesie, but not a normal one. This onesie is an eraser head onesie. What is the underground hero's reaction? Hisashi is laughing really loudly, Namuri is taking pictures, and Toshinori is holding back a laugh. Izuku walks to them, all smiles. Thank you so much, Aunt Namuri. I loved it. Shoyuta just stares. How the f did you get that, Namuri? She only laughs. Oh come on, Shoyuta, you know I ordered it myself. I have my ways. And I know you like it. Izuku knows he does. And that's why he's proud. Before any of them say anything else, there's a knock on the door. I'll answer it. Izuku says, opening it, where Shoto stands staring at his clothing. Oh my god, then he laughs. Todoroki Shoto laughs for the first time in front of the heroes, and they are completely shocked. I told you he could laugh. They come in, both smiling, and Izuku closes the door. Who gave him it? Shoto asks, sitting with him on the floor, legs crossed. I did, and I don't regret a thing, kid. Just look at him. Namuri proudly answers. Congratulations, this is the best thing I ever saw him wear. Just when they thought they couldn't get more from the boy, he says that. Izuku can only laugh. Hey, I'm not that bad. And oh boy. Oh, Izuku, I have bad news for you. They all looked at him with the same look on their eyes, joy. On that day, they all felt like they were part of a happy family, eating and having fun together, and Izuku never felt so loved. Izu, we're gonna get late, come on. He hears Hisashi call him from the living room. I'm coming. Picking up his phone and tying his shoelaces, he runs to his dad's with a smile. Let's go. Unfortunately, you can't call us dad and pa on class. Izu, you probably already know this, but we don't want a disaster on the first day, Hisashi comments on their ride to UA. It's fine. I'm just struggling to decide if I'm really going to give Deku as my name to people. As Shoyuta is driving, Hisashi turns to look at him, as asking for more. Like, that's the name my bullies gave me. And my childhood friend. But I think he just started calling everyone by it after I disappeared as a try for me to just vanish off his mind. Hisashi looks puzzled when Shoyuta speaks. I don't think it's bad. You're being ironic by giving people that name, because it'll eventually lose its meaning. You're only proving them that you don't care. You're better than that, the voice hero gasps. I thought you were bad with words? I like that, like, a lot. Izuku smiles. I think he can be pretty good at talking when he wants to. Where is 1A again? Izuku asks himself. His fathers are probably already on the teacher's room, but he forgot what were the exact direction Hisashi gave him. Found it, he stops at the door. Please, no Katsuki, no Ingenium's brother. Please, closing his eyes and opening the door. When he opens it again, there they are, both of them. He sighs. Remove your foot from that desk. Such an action is insulting to those who came to UA before us as well as the craftsman who made the desk. Oh, he's messing with Katsuki. Like I care. What middle school are you from, you extra? Izuku tries to quietly look for a desk, but can't ignore them. I'm from semi-private academy. My name is Ida Tenya. Oh, so his name's Ida, nice. Semi? A stuck-up elitist, then? I should blow you to bits, and there he goes. You're awful, do you really wish to become a hero? And when Izuku thinks he's going unnoticed, Ida turns towards him. Hey, it's you. I'm Ida Tenya from Semi-P-. I heard you before. I'm Deku, pleased to meet you, Ida. There's a small pause, just enough to Ida to notice. You got first place on the exam, didn't you? The one with only one name on the table of points. You perceived the true nature of that practical exam while I did not. I misjudged you, I hate to admit it, but you were the superior candidate. Wow, he talks a lot, doesn't he? Again, when he finally thinks he can find a chair. That curly hair, the plain-looking boy. It's the girl with brown hair again. You got in, just like Present Mike said. Izuku smiles. Yeah. I have to thank you for speaking on my behalf. And for not letting me fall too. Twice. The girl kept talking. So we've got our entrance ceremony and guidance sessions today, yeah? Wonder what our teacher'll be like? Boy, I'm nervous. Oh, poor her. Izuku wonders if he'll come inside that sleeping bag of his. If you're here to socialize, then get out. Oh gosh, there he is. This is. He pulls a packaging plastic juice. Out of nowhere, drinking it all. The hero course. It took you 8 seconds for you to quiet down. This is a precious resource. You lot aren't very rational, are you? Wow, Shoyuta is really tough. I'm your homeroom teacher, Aizawa Shoyuta. Pleased to meet you. Your face doesn't agree, Izuku thinks, trying not to laugh. Quickly now, change into your gym clothes and head to out the grounds. Changing as soon as possible, trying to avoid being seen without a shirt by his classmates, Izuku heads out. A test of our quirks? It's now. He's finally going to know how much he improved in these 10 months. What about the entrance ceremony? Or guidance sessions? The girl asks, but Shoyuta just looks dead as always. No time to waste on that stuff if you want to become heroes. UA is known for its freestyle educational system that applies to us teachers as well. He then lists all the activities Izuku did 10 months ago. He's so excited. You did all these in middle school, yes? Your standard no quirks allowed gym tests. Bakugo, how far could you throw in middle school? Oh, Shoyuta chose him. Well, Izuku didn't tell his fathers that Kaken came from Katsuki, so they probably didn't recognize him from the slime incident. 67 meters. Great, now try with your quirk. Do whatever you need to, just don't leave the circle. Give it all you've got. And there Katsuki goes. Die! Izuku can't see with all the smoke, but he's sure that ball won't be seen again. It's important for us to know our limits. That's the first rational step to figuring out what kind of heroes you'll be. 705.2 the counter showed. Whoa! This is awesome, someone says from behind, and Izuku notices Shura's look, immediately receiving a shiver down his spine. You're hoping to become heroes after 3 years here. And think it'll be all fun and games? Right. The one with the lowest score across all 8 events will be judged hopeless and will be expelled. Izuku didn't really think Hisashi was being honest about this. What? The creepiest expression stands on Shura's face. Your fates are in our hands. Welcome, this is the hero course at UA High. Okay, Breath, you can do this. There's no way you'll get the lowest score. Right. That's plus ultra. Use your strength to overcome it all, so bring it. The demonstration is over, now it's for real. Event 1, 50-meter dash. Ida, as expected, did better than anyone, with 3.04 seconds. The frog girl did well too, then the brown-haired, a weird blonde guy with laser who fell on the middle of the thing. Then Katsuki and him. Right, he can do it. Izuku takes a deep breath, concentrating his energy on his legs. Go! Before Katsuki could explode his face, he runs. 3.58 seconds. Great. He smiles, quickly getting as far as he can from his childhood friend, who got 4.13 seconds. Event 2, grip strength. Come on, he didn't train for nothing. 78 kilograms, 27 kilograms more than before. That's good enough. Whoa, that's awesome. A big gorilla-looking guy could lift 540 kilograms. His classmates were for sure strong. Then standing long jump, where he, once again, could manage to jump the whole distance. On sidestepping, Izuku did fine, no big deal. Event 5, throwing. Whoops, the infinity sign pops up. Wow! The girl just threw a ball that'd probably never fall. Okay, don't break a bone again, Izuku, just do it without any damage. He takes the ball, preparing himself to throw it, then it falls. 46 meters. What? Izuku looks at Shoyuta as asking why he did that. Erased your quirk. You couldn't control your quirk, you'd just be incapacitated again. Were you hoping someone would step in to help afterwards? He was overdoing it? He didn't even notice. Maybe he was focusing energy on his whole arm. Whatever you were planning, it would have inconvenienced those around you. Way back when a certain hot-blooded hero saved 1,000 of people during a disaster, he made himself a legend. You've got the same reckless streak, but you're useless after saving just a single person. Deku, you cannot become a hero until being able to control that quirk of yours. It's weird hearing Shoyuta calling him Deku. But he's trying. Shoyuta knows he is. He's the one who's been training him for the past 10 months. He knows better than anyone how much the boy have improved. But he hadn't been exposed to these type of situations enough times, the ones that'll make him nervous. You've got your quirk back, give it another go. Okay, you can do this, Izuku, just breath, no bone breaking. On last second he puts all his energy on his finger. Now! Shoyuta looks surprised and angry, while Izuku curses. I broke it, but he got 705.3 m. I can still move, he says holding back tears. But he broke a finger again. Ignoring how annoyed by his selflessness Shoyuta looks, Izuku smiles. Ooh. Now that's a hero-like record if I ever saw 1-inch Infinity Girl cheers. His finger appears to be swollen. Thinking back to the entrance exam, what a strange quirk. Ida comments. Stylishly done, the weird laser guy says, when his worst fear occurs. Katsuki notices him. What the hell? Explain yourself, Deku. But before he gets to Izuku, Shoyuta stops him. What the? This cloth, it's stiff. Thanks, Dad, Izuku sighs in relief. It's a capture weapon, made of carbon fibers and a special alloy wire. Stop using your quirk already, I'm getting dry eye over here. He releases the boy. What a waste of time. Prepare for the next event. Izuku tries to ignore Katsuki as better as possible. How is he supposed to explain everything to him? It's not as easy as with Shoto. And speaking of him, Izuku wonders why he actually hadn't seen him. Is your finger okay? He wakes up from thoughts, not even bothering to look at who asked. Aya. Moving along, time for the results. Your total scores simply reflect your performance in each of the events. Explaining would be a waste of time, so all of you get are the final rankings. Izuku tries to regulate his breathing. Also, I was lying about expelling someone. Wait, what? That was a rational deception meant to bring out the best in all of you. Why is he lying? Izuku's sure that he expelled the whole class last year. Anyway, we're done here. Your documents about the curriculum and such are back in the classroom, give them a look. Deku, have Recovery Girl fix you up. Tomorrow's trials aren't gonna be any easier. He takes the authorized paper from Shuta's hand, nodding. And when he finally takes a look on the results, there he is on 3rd place. Yeah. He cheers with a smile, right after starting to look for Shoto, who got 2nd place. I'm dead, Izuku says walking beside Shoto on their way home. I'm sure you're not, he chuckles. I know, right? It doesn't even look so, the Granette says trying to catch a laugh from the other, who only provides him a small grin but enough. How's your finger? Ida appears behind him holding his shoulder, making Izuku jumps on his place. Whoa there. It's fine, thanks to Recovery Girl. Shoto just walks beside him, not saying a word. Izuku assumes Ida just didn't notice him as he keeps talking. But Aizawa-sensei sure fooled us. He made me think this is how it is at the top. But our own instructor deceived us like that. I thought he was just kind of rude. But Ida isn't that bad, Izuku thinks to himself. Hey, you 3, headed to the station? Wait up. They stop, turning around. Ah, Infinity Girl. Ida speaks up. I'm Uraraka Ochako. You're Ida Tenya, Deku Izuku? And you? She seemed confused about Izuku's name and the whole Shoto's presence. Izuku looks at Shoto, unsure, but he only looks back at him with his straight face. Yeah, I guess you can say that. You can just call me Deku, he smiles to her. Good. I think Deku is a nice name, sounds like, do your best. For me, wow, Izuku never looked at it like that. He smiles more widely. This is Todoroki Shoto, we were friends before so. I don't know, he awkwardly laughs. Ida wides his eyes. You're Endeavor's son. Making Uraraka gasps, but Izuku just stops them. Yeah. But we don't like to bring it up, you know? He likes to be just himself. Now that sounded weird. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll try not to talk about it too often. Uraraka nods, making Izuku smiles. Thank you, he hears Shoto whispers. He looks at him and wides his smile. Welcome. Once it's only the 2 of them, Shoto asks. Why are you walking home? Izuku looks at him confused, just to realize what he meant by that. They said that how it's only the first day they're gonna be late, you know, teacher stuff. The boy nods in understanding. I sure didn't expect one of your dads to be our homeroom teacher, Izuku giggles. Right? They're all there. Dad, Pa, Aunt Namuri, Aunt Chio. Only Uncle Toshi isn't at Yue. Shoto sighs. Now that I recall, I still can't believe how I didn't recognize Present Mike when I walked you home that day, Shoto says in disappointment. It's not that easy though. Pa's very different when he's home from what he's at work. I mean his hair. Shoto smiles, making Izuku do the same. They stop by Izuku's apartment. Thanks for coming with me. See you on school tomorrow. Shoto nods, turning around and walking home. Izuku goes up the stairs, pulling the key of the apartment out of his bag, opening the door quietly. I'm home. He walks to his bedroom, taking some files of his bag and sitting on the writing desk. He took the students' files of Shuta's things to know them better, knowing it would give him a lot of privileges, but it was something he was planning to do long time ago. I already put it back on place, Izuku says at dinner, when Shoyuta asks about it, making him sigh. Why do you need those at all, Aizu? Hisashi asks. I just wanted to know them, their quirks, more about them. I know it isn't right, but it's kind of a habit, you know, from back there. Sorry. He really couldn't help it. The fact that he didn't know nothing about the students made him uncomfortable. Now that he knows everyone, he's just fine. But it's creepy, he thinks to himself, shrugging. I don't think it's creepy, little listener. It's okay to do that. It's kind of a collateral effect of everything that happened, I guess. Hisashi says, making him smile. I can't believe you broke your finger again, by the way. Hisashi says. I know. I overdid it again, sorry. Too nervous. They look so concerned it hurts. Izuku thinks poorly. Right, no need to apologize, only get better. Now let's eat, you must be tired and there's more coming tomorrow. Shoyuta says and starts eating, Izuku and Hisashi doing the same. I'm so excited. Uraraka says during lunchtime, the other day, that Izuku, Shoto, Ida and Uraraka are all sitting together on table. Indeed. It's remarkable the fact that All Might will be our teacher. Izuku cheers on his place. Right? He's my second favorite hero. Uraraka looks at him in curiosity. Who's the first? Eraserhead. Shoto says, surprising everyone. Hey, it's the first time you actually talked. Izuku jokes. You two seem really close. Since when you're friends? Ida asks. 10 months, I guess, Izuku answers. It doesn't look like a lot of time when he thinks about it now. That's a really short PRD of time for you being so close. That's so cool. Uraraka says, making Izuku smiles. Then they start eating. I am coming through the door like a normal person. Izuku cheers. It's All Might. He's really gonna teach us. That's his Silver Age costume. The Granette nods excitedly. Hero Basic Training. The class that'll put you through all sorts of special training to mold you into heroes. No time to dally, today's activity is this. Battle training. ODMN. Why? Izuku cries silently to himself. And for that you need these. In accordance with the Quirk registry and forms you filled out before being admitted. Costumes. Everyone cheers, finally. After you change, come out in ranking order to ground beta. Looking good is very important, ladies and gentlemen. Look alive now, because from today on you're all heroes. Izuku happily and quickly walks to the changing room, changing as fast as possible, avoiding any of his classmates, and walks out. It seems it's time to fight some people. Izuku's costume is simple, a green jumpsuit. He's wearing black and yellow gloves and supports for his legs, and of course, his red sneakers. A red belt with some support items in case of emergencies, a communicator, a speaker and a first aid package. Then the only things that don't make his costume boring, a piece that will regulates his breathing, and a designed by himself curious thing, covering his left eye and ear. The item itself on the ear reduce loud sounds to avoid a loss of hearing, while when on his eye, helps him to focus his sight, as it's already more expended than the normal. Whoa dude, your costume is so manly. Didn't think you were so buffed. What's that thing on your ear and eye? A red-headed boy, Kirishima, asks him as soon as he walks out. It helps me not to get deaf because of loud sounds, and helps me to focus my sight, Izuku calmly explains. Isn't that cheating? The grape, Mineta, asks and Izuku turns to him, snapping. It's not cheating if I already can hear and see better than you. Ah Deku. Cool costume, really practical looking. Uraraka says approaching him. Hey, yours is very nice too. She scratches the back of her neck in embarrassment. I wish I'd been more specific on my request form. This is too attaching. Izuku has to agree with her on that. Being in the hero course is the best. Mineta says, and Izuku was already adding him to his trash list of students of UA. Ida surprises Izuku when he asks about that being the same field of the entrance exam, such a cool costume he is wearing. Nope. You'll be moving on to Step 2, Indoor Anti-Personnel Training. All Might then explains the importance of indoors training, as statistically the most heinous villains are more likely to appear indoors. You'll now be split into villain teams and hero teams, and face off in 2-on-2 indoor battles. So no basic training? As she asks, practical experiences teaches you the basics. Yeah, and Izuku already knows a lot of the basic from living with villains themselves. The distinction here is that you won't be fighting disposable robots. What determines victory? Can I just blast everyone away? Are you threatening to expel anyone like Aizawa-sensei did? How do we proceed to divide ourselves into teams? And the most important, how fabulous is my cape? Are the questions all spilled at the same time. One at a time. My quirk isn't super hearing. Listen up, here's the deal. The villains will be hiding a nuclear weapon in the hideout, and the heroes have to go in and take care of it. The heroes have a limited amount of time to either capture the villains or secure the weapon. The villains must either capture the heroes or protect the weapon until time's up. Your battle partners will be decided by drawing lots. All Might explains all at once, reading a small piece of paper. Is that really the best way? Ida asks, making Izuku pulls up a finger. Because pros often have to team up with heroes from other agencies on the spot during emergencies, he explains, and Ida apologizes again. It's fine, let's just get to it. Please Shoto, and Izuku teams up with Uraraka on Team A. Well, at least someone I know. Shoto was with the strong octopus boy, Shuji, and Izuku notices how Ida has the luck to team up with Katsuki. Nice. Must be fate. Let's do this. Uraraka cheers, Izuku smiles nodding. Moving on, first up are these. The heroes are Team A, the villains are Team D. Izuku sweats. Sheet. Training or not, assuming the role of villain pains me. So we merely have to guard this? Katsuki completely ignores him. So Deku has a quirk. Ida looks at him intuitively and confused. You saw his monstrous strength and speed, no? Although it puts him at a risk. I'll ask you not to charge straight at Deku. Katsuki stares at the ground furious. That med nerd. Are you okay, Deku? You seem nervous. Izuku twitches his fingers. Well, we're up against Katsuki and Ida, and I don't have a good past with Katsuki. I have a plan. Wanna hear? Uraraka looks at him eagerly. Sure. He takes a deep breath. Here, Katsuki will most likely come after me the immediate moment we enter the building. You have to go after the bomb, it'll be probably on the last floor. Ida will be protecting the bomb, he's fast, you can't just tie him, so try not to be seen. If you are, just warn me, I'll work out plan B. I'll enter for one window, you go through another one after I'm in. Katsuki won't notice you if he's fighting me. I'll be destroying the floors if you're seen, it'll be easier that way. While Ida dodges everything you can catch the bomb, I'll warn you, so grab on a pillar. This is plan B. Plan C is for the case I'm catch. You make Ida run directly to walls, throw it on him and run to the bomb. Don't let Katsuki get to you. Don't worry about being catched too, I have a plan for that case. Whoa, you're a really quick thinker, so smart. Uraraka gasps. Thanks. So, ready? Asks a bit embarrassed as they get closer to the building. More than ever. I'm nervous. This way I'll destroy all my bones. Izuku stops and leans down, breathing deeply, concentrating. He's here. He gets up and listens carefully. When he opens his eyes, he dodges Katsuki's blow on good timing. Nice dodging, Deku. That's low, Bakugu. Sneak attacks are so unmanly. Kirishima comments. Yet they are a valid strategy. This is practical experience. No matter. Did you see how Deku dodged that? Awesome. Mina exclaims. I'll mess you up just enough not to be disqualified. Katsuki says, coming for another attack. I'm already messed up enough, Katsuki. Izuku whispers, taking him by his arm and throwing him on the ground. You are more than predictable to me, Katsuki. How many times do you think I saw you lead with that right hook? I didn't write notebooks for nothing. He stares at him angrily. The one you blew up and chucked out the window? The only one I actually wrote useful things. I'm not gonna be your worthless punching bag Deku forever, Katsuki. I'm the Deku who always does his best. He screams, all his emotions on his head, already cursing his instability. It pisses me off. You spout that CRP all while scared out of your mind. Darn that Bakugo. Running off on his own, what could he be thinking? Really? Ida sadly says, trying to understand what was happening down there. Katsuki quickly tries to kick Izuku, but he's stopped by the tape he pulls out and ties his leg. Already knowing the incoming explosion, Izuku pulls the tape down with full force, causing Katsuki to meet the floor again, then runs away. He needs to think of something, he can't keep dodging the explosions. Get back here, Deku. Katsuki screams, getting up. Must have been fun, yeah? Tricking me this whole time, right? Hiding that flashy quirk of yours. So bring it on. I'll still crush you. Found you. Uraraka murmurs, hiding behind a pillar. Okay, let's do this. She starts to move as silently as possible. I am the ultimate evil. She hears Ida speaks in an evil voice, not being able to help but chuckle. So you've came, Uraraka? I calculated as much once Bakugo ran off on his own. I know your quirk allows you to levitate objects you touch. So before you arrive, I enacted a counter-strategy against you by removing all objects on this floor. Your little tricks won't work here. You've miscalculated, hero. Ida laughs in a maleficent way. He's really getting into it. She turns on her micro-transceiver. Deku. Ida found me, sorry. Izuku sighs. It's fine, plan B then. But only a little time left, and it's their win if we run out the clock. Don't get caught. Uraraka nods, ready to avoid Ida the most she can. Why not use it? You mocking me, Deku? F-. Izuku was paying attention to Uraraka and forgot about Katsuki. He couldn't use it because he was mentally unstable, idiot. I'm not afraid of you. He says, getting up. Guessing you know this from all your stalking, but the sweat glands on my palms secrete something like nitroglycerin. That's how I make my explosions. Izuku backs off in confusion. He already knows that. Assuming they honored my design requests, this gauntlet's been storing that fluid. Izuku starts to walk back. F-. You trying to kill me? He asks, not knowing what to do. You won't die if it's not a direct hit. A big explosion. Izuku on the floor, trying to get up. Are they crazy enough to give you that? Use your quirk, I want to crush you at your strongest. Half of the building destroyed. What the? Uraraka quickly charges. This is my chance, jumping at the bomb, but Ida took it away, making her fall. Ek. Your quirk poses no threat as long as you can't touch anything. Now struggle, as I continue to take your precious time. Ida laughs. I'm counting on you, Deku, she murmurs in hope. Awesome, huh? What's wrong, Deku? Come on, you're not dead yet. But could be. Izuku finally gets up, but Katsuki runs at him. Time to pound you. An explosion, making Izuku jumps, avoiding a blow on his back. He's fast. This way I won't be able to do sheet. Then suddenly, Katsuki catches him by his arm and throw him on the ground. F-. Izuku is feeling useless, hella useless. On the monitor room, Shoto is prepared to kill Katsuki. Several torture methods on his head, while everyone is just scared of his attitude. Izuku backs off, preparing himself. Why won't you use your quirk? You mocking me? Ever since we were kids you always have. Kids? You knew it was me? Izuku asks, stopping in shock. Of course I knew you, BC. You think I'm dumb enough not to notice? Why the hell do you think I called you Deku? Thought you'd changed your name because was adopted or sheet. Will you ever stop looking down at me, you nerd? Katsuki attacks him again, making him steps back. I was kept by villains, Katsuki, he snaps in anger. You could have helped me. Katsuki stops. What? But no. Why not tell me to go kill myself? You know I actually tried. The blonde doesn't have words. What was Izuku saying? Villains? Tried to kill himself? I didn't really mean it, you fucker. I didn't think you'd be idiot enough to actually jump. Then Izuku looks at him. He looks at him deeply in the eyes. You didn't mean it? Do you know what is being kept by villains for 10 years? Your own father being one? What is to be tortured for every little mistake you do? Sleeping in a room that looks more like a FING prison cell? Do you know what it is? To being bullied by your childhood friend for not having a quirk that you need to hide? Well then your words meant a lot, Katsuki. I tried to jump that day. Izuku was close. His finger on Katsuki's chest, but the one not being able to move. And if it wasn't for a freaking hero, I would be dead. And it'd be your fault. He stops to breath, Katsuki still freezed in place. So you try to put yourself on my place and shut your effing mouth? He walks away. Or at least he tries. Katsuki could move again, and the only thing he could think of was exploding something. This something is Izuku. But Izuku turns around before anything happens, of course, his quirk. But there's something that makes Katsuki stops, this time permanently. Izuku's face. There are tears everywhere, his expression of pain and desperation, his sobs. It freezes Katsuki on his place. That boy is already broken, he wouldn't be able to affect him anymore. It's my chance. Izuku hold back more of his tears, taking courage and the situation to his side. He concentrates all his energy on his arms, a small quantity on his legs and jump. Uraraka now. Ida, sorry. Gotta improvise. Uraraka says, grabbing the pillar and using it as a baseball bat. Comet home run. All the wreckage flying to Ida. That's no home run. Uraraka then jumps over Ida and catch the bomb. Secured. The weapon. Ida cries. The hero team wins. All Might announces. Katsuki is even more furious, ready to kill someone. I totally just lost to Deku. Because I pitted him. Let's head back, Bakugo. All Might stops him from whatever he was planning to. Izuku's trying not to have a panic attack. It's not working. He's crouching on the floor with his hands on his face, trying to stop the stupid tears. His arm is all broken, and he's sure he's about to pass out. You won the exercise, why are you even crying? Freaking idiot, 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 you just told him everything. Why did you tell him? You needed to stay calm, not do that, you FNG stupid, and now what? You're going to cry to your fake but parents? They don't care. Everything is a blur, his thoughts are too loud and, Izuku just noticed, he can't breath, great. Not even breathe you can anymore, FNG stupid. Having a panic attack over Katsuki? That's a whole new level of weak, you know. You'll never be anything but a stupid worthless Deku, as he said back in middle school, and you know what? He's just dash. Izuku. Izuku, please just look at me. Izuku, he hardly tries to look up at the owner of the voice, but can't recognize the person at all. Breath with me please. Right, breath, he's constantly forgetting how to do that. He follows the person's breath, until he calms down. When he opens his eyes, Shuta's right in front of him. Is Uraraka okay? Shoyuta looks at him in annoyance. You just had a panic attack if your classmate is okay. Izuku looks away. Well, I destroyed everything in dash. She's fine, problem child. Everyone's in the monitor room, Ida was the VIP in this battle, we're going to see Recovery Girl. Don't even want to see her reaction to seeing you on this state, God. Izuku gets up with a tiny smile, wrapping his arm around his shoulder. Can I dash? Yes, child, but not now. I can show you how it was when you wake up, because right now you'll rest, understood? Our priority is you, not Shoto's fight. Shoyuta interrupts him, making Izuku laugh, he knows him too well. Oh, and we're talking about what this was later, with Hizashi at home. Oh, demon. While Shoto freezes the whole building to get to the weapon, Recovery Girl yells at Izuku, asking how many times she'll have to do that, and how it's been only 2 days. In the middle of her lesson, he falls asleep. Aizawa Shoyuta, he swallows dryly. Why do this kid keep ending on this state? What's happening? Though he was stable? Shoyuta sighs. Yeah, well, he is, but apparently not around Kaken. She looks at him worried. You're telling me that dash? Yes, Katsuki Bakugo is Kaken, Izuku's childhood friend and main bully. According to All Might, they were arguing on the fight. I'll talk about it with Izuku later, but still. When I came to check on him, he was having a panic attack after the battle had ended. That a-hole didn't stop the fight and I don't even know why, so blame him and not me. Chio sighs. You all are going to kill me before the time. Walking back to his classroom, Izuku feels tired and hopes not to see Katsuki. Of course he's going to try to explain what happened properly, but not when everyone is on the room. Ah, Deku's here. Welcome back, man. Kirishima greets him as soon as he opens the door. I don't know what you were saying back there, but that was a wild battle. Now what? We were super pumped after that crazy first round. Yeah, he can imagine. They all introduced themselves, while some other classmates were just talking on the back. Uraraka asks about his arm, but it's not even that he's worried about. Shoyuta, Hisashi and Shoto. Oh gosh, he's so screwed. Hisashi's face appears on his mind, for the first time in a long time. He fears it again. Hey Izu, can we talk? Oh no, it's happening. Shoto gets closer, and Shoyuta appears out of nowhere. Not now, Todoroki. You're invited to come over so we can all talk together. Hey Izuku? Oh no, Shoyuta has that look on his face. He nods intensely, leaving the fastest he can. Katsuki's still here, he runs to him. Katsuki. Huh. He's not in a good mood. I need to explain to you what happened. Katsuki stops walking. My dad. He was the one who killed my mom and took me away. I was kept by him and some other villains for 10 years, working for them. I didn't kill anyone happily. I was allowed to start school with a new identity and all, but I was too scared to do anything at the time. I always had a quirk, Katsuki. I've never been quirkless, I just hid it. I'm safe now though, was adopted by pro-heroes and all. He says everything at once, only stopping to breathe when he stopped talking. Huh? What is that it? What the hell, Deku? FING kidnapped by villains? And you didn't even tell anyone? FING pathetic. And I lost to you? And if it weren't enough that ICBSTRD. No way I can measure up to him either. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Why? You too, Deku. From here on I hear me? I'm gonna beat you all. Enjoy your win, it'll never happen again. Is Katsuki okay? Izuku wonders walking home. Most importantly, am I going to be okay? He opens the door of his apartment cautiously, already knowing that they were all there. Welcome home, Izuku. DMN. I think we need to talk. The three of them, his dads and Shoto, were sitting on the table, their glares making Izuku hopes he was dead. He walks to them, sitting along, staring at his feet. About what? Hisashi laughs, breaking the atmosphere. Come on, Izu, we're not going to kill you. We just want to confirm some things. Okay, he breathes deeply and looks at them. Just ask then. He says nervously. Is Kaken Bakugu Katsuki? Whoa, Shoyuta really likes going straight to the point, huh? Yes. Why did you keep it from us? He looks at them defensively. I didn't keep it from. You just never asked. Plus it's not like it's a big deal either, Shoyuta sighs. Shoto looks relieved for some reason and Hisashi kind of disappointed. Great. You're moving from the desk behind the boy. Now what? They look at him concerned. You just can't ignore the fact that he's not good for your mind, Izuku. That makes Izuku explodes. Of course I cannot. But I need to learn how to deal with it. Dad, aren't you the one who tells me to learn how to control my mental state? How am I going to do that if I can't even try? I am not made of glass, you know. Can you please let me try? Try to get him right? Also, he's not a monster, he's a teenager just like me. He won't kill me. It surprises them, Izuku's shouting, the tears on his face. I am sorry, Izu. I misunderstood everything, I just wanted the best to you and didn't consider your feelings. I won't do it again, Shoto says while getting up and bowing. Both his dads look surprised, but also lowered their heads. I'm not angry at you. I am sorry too for keeping it from you three. I just don't want to be treated like I'm going to break any moment. So let's get together again, right? Just smile. He smiles. Hisashi laughs, involving him in a hug. You're the best little listener. I love you so much. Then they all hugged him. And Izuku hugs them back. He really loves his family. Who wants cold soba noodles? Hisashi asks excitedly. Oh, they're my favorite. Surprisingly, Shoyuta chuckles. Of course they are. How much of you do you think Izuku talks about? We probably know you better than your father. Izuku blushes embarrassed, he talked that much about him. That's not so hard, Shoto says, and everyone burst in a happy laugh. Sorry for the sudden announcement, but today, Shoyuta says, and the whole class is tense. He didn't tell me anything about today's activities though. Izuku thinks, you'll pick a class president. Such a normal, school-like thing. Izuku wouldn't like to be the class president, too much responsibilities, plus he's sure he's not the right person. Ida suggests an election, immediately making Izuku realizes that he's the perfect guy to the job. He smiles, writing Ida's name on a small piece of paper. I got 4 votes. Izuku couldn't actually believe that. Like, what do these people see in me? He whispers to himself, while Katsuki complains about it. He was sure Shoto would vote for him, but he's not sure about the rest. Fine, so your president's Deku and your vice president is Yaoyorozu, Izuku sighs, asking himself what is he doing there. Lunchtime, the 4 friends sitting together again. I still don't know how it ended up like this, Izuku says, playing with his food. I'm sure you can do it. Shoto says, encouraging him. Did you have breakfast? Shoto asks, making Ida and Uraraka look at them confused. Of course I had. They force me to eat, as they can't see if I'm eating here or not. Do you want my food? I'm not hungry. Uraraka gasps. You can give it to me. Anything for free food, Ida looks at her. But the food here is free. Plus, he looks at Izuku, making him flinch. Are you eating healthily? It's not good to skip meals like this. Izuku scratches the back of his head. It's fine, it won't affect me at all. 10 months ago I could barely eat a whole meal, so I'm good with breakfast and dinner. Shoto looks at him concerned. Still, you will be more energized if you eat. Izuku throws his hands up. I know. But I can't eat, you know that I'd completely throw up, he says like it was normal, sarcastically. That's not nice. Why can't you eat? Uraraka asks. Izuku tries as fast as possible to come up with an excuse, but his mind just stops working. He only ate once per day for some time, now it's hard for him to eat more than that. He's trying. Shoto simply says for him. Was it some kind of diet? Ida asks, making everything easier. Yeah, a diet. Of course. Then the alarm plays, and once again Ida proves to Izuku that he's more than the ideal person to be the class president, so he decides to do something about it. He suggests to the class that Ida should be on his place, and even Shoyuta agrees. Finally rid of such a responsible place, Izuku sighs in relief, walking home. I think you'd have done just fine. Shoto says. I don't like the idea of being someone to look up to. Especially after all the things I did, I'm certainly not the person they want to lead the class. I can't even think of what I'll be doing if they find out. Izuku is trying not to freak out with that on mind. Shoto places his hand on Izuku's shoulder, stopping both of them. It's fine, they're good people, they'll understand. And you did nothing, you are not a villain, Izu. If you were, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be here now, because I see an excellent hero on your future. Izuku laughs, holding back some tears. I'm not gonna cry, but that was probably the best thing you ever told me. Shoto smiles. You know, you'll make people think I'm a monster if you keep with those jokes. The brunette laughs, staring to walk again. Oh, and you're not one? Shoto snorts, come on. They walk to their homes, saying goodbye. Izuku waits his parents get home, patiently watching the news, when he hears their footsteps. We're home. Hisashi exclaims lively, Shoyuta sighing. Welcome home, Pennsylvania, Dad. Izuku excitedly says, tomorrow'll be tiring, Izuku, so I hope you get some good hours of sleep. He gets up curious. Oh yeah? What are we doing then? His parents leave their things on the couch. Hisashi immediately starts to prepare dinner, Izuku and Shoyuta sitting down at the table. Rescue training, I think. Hisashi says. Hisashi, you know he's not supposed to have privileges, the blonde laughs. Come on, he's a kid. He's curious and a good guy, nothing wrong with telling him, Izuku smiles. Yeah. I'm not always a problem child, you know, Shoyuta shrugs. Fine then, but you can't ignore the fact that something always happens when you're involved, problem child. Izuku protests, pouting, not always. Hisashi gasps, turning to see them. Oh no, he's using the face, show, quick, before he does the puppy one. Izuku bursts in laugh, and Shoyuta allows himself to join him. Stop playing around. Zashi, I want to eat. Hisashi goes back to cooking with a smile. Sure thing. Izuku doesn't know why, but when Shoyuta announces that they're having rescue training the next day, he immediately has a bad feeling about it. He doesn't say anything though. His quirk isn't guessing, so he changes to his costume without a word. The students are disappointed about the bus, even though Izuku can't understand why. He sits beside Shoto, putting his hands on his knees. You know, Deku, I generally say what's on my mind. Azui comes out of nowhere, making Izuku jumps on his seat. Oh, what is it, Azui? He asks, calming down. Call me Tsuyu. I actually have two things to say. He looks at her intrigued. Go ahead, she turns her head to him. It's really weird that only Izuku was on the table of points, and Deku doesn't really sound like a name. Are you a pro hero's son or something like that? Izuku looks away, trying not to make eye contact with Shoyuta but at the same time trying to look for an answer on his face. Yes, that's why Deku's second name isn't available for you, at least for now. So don't ask any more questions. Shoyuta says from the front without even turning around, surprising the ones listening. Whoa dude, that's awesome. You're just like Todoroki, but so cool and mysterious as we don't know who are your parents. Kirishima says with a smile. Oh, the second thing I wanted to say, Deku, Tsuyu surprises Izuku once more. He sweats nervously, her questions are making him tense, but he nods for her to keep talking. Are you really only friends with Todoroki? You two seem like something more. Izuku blushes. What? Of course not. We're just really good friends. He sweats more than nervously, he's terrified. What the hell? Are you really sure? She asks again, making him wants to kill himself. We're here. Look sharp. Now, Shoyuta announces, and Izuku couldn't be happier. He quickly leaves the bus for air. He's probably super red, even when he doesn't understand why. Oh, wasn't Shoto by my side? Oh no. I'm a disaster. He panics, not even paying attention to his surroundings. When he's calm again, the space hero 13 is talking, but he didn't pay attention. He notices that All Might isn't there when 13 starts explaining about their quirk. When they finish, Izuku claps his hands together with a smile. But something's wrong. He recognizes that purplish black on the back, stepping back with terror stamped on his face. Shoyuta turns around confused about Izuku's expression when tons of villains comes from Kurogiri. 13, protect the students, he shouts, those are villains. And suddenly, everyone's scared. Izuku isn't scared, he's freaking petrified, can't move, can't blink, can't breathe. He tries to step back, but not one muscle moves. He sees Shoyuta walks to them and can finally do something, even if only scream. You can't fight them alone. His voice is pure pain and terror. He doesn't want to die. He doesn't want to go back there. No. Shoyuta jumps towards them. Izuku wants to cry. He tries to turn on his communicator, but it won't work. When he starts seeing Kurogiri, something blocks his view. Someone is hugging him. Shoto, he looks up at his face, whispering. They can't see you here. They can't find you, okay? So stay safe, please. Izuku wants to wake up. He just wants to open his eyes and realize that it is a dream. Izuku wants to cry. Kurogiri says something about killing the symbol of peace. Kirishima and Katsuki try to charge at him. Izuku lets Shoto go, he needs to do something, but his vision goes black and he's teleported. Water. There's a villain about to maybe kill him, but Azui kicks him, taking Izuku with her tongue. This is nasty. He's thrown in a boat when he notices that Shoto isn't there. Sheet. The plan. Yes, that'd be good. Izuku wants to panic. Azui comes to the boat with Mineta, that is panicking, but Izuku's more focused on thinking. They don't know about our quirks, because they put Azui on a water zone, so Mineta should be able to throw his ball in the water that the villains won't know what they do. Izuku mumbles, looking at both his classmates. You heard my mumbling, right? Mineta, how many ball you can take out of your head? I don't know, I'll start bleeding at some point. Izuku sees villains. Awesome, so just throw as much as you can on the water. Azui, I'll try making a swirl on the water, can you catch me after that? I think so, Rip, she says with a finger on her mouth. Great, here I go. Izuku jumps with energy on his legs, aiming the center of the villains, hitting the water as it was concrete. His plan works. The villains are stuck with Mineta's ball altogether. Azui catches him and they're safe. But Shoto, what about everyone else? When they're on the coast, Izuku focuses on his hearing. You just lost to a kid, come on, aren't you adults? Shoto is fine. He can hear Shuta's voice too. They're fine. But there's an interesting new guy to the league. I'm helping Aizawa-sensei. Izuku says determinate. I didn't think you were that dumb. Izuku ignores Mineta. He needs to help, even if he has to die. He's not letting the league hurt anyone. Nomu. Izuku's late. He knows that. There's this big thing, apparently called Nomu upon his dad. Let him go. Izuku's out of the water, facing Shigaraki not so far from him. Oh, I think you're the scum's son, huh? You're probably talking about Hisashi, am I right? I'm sorry, but I don't identify that man as my father. Izuku won't let them hurt Shoyuta more than he's already. Oh, you're a brave brat. Did you know the brave ones are the first to go? Nomu, take the kid, don't kill him. Izuku tries to punch the thing. He needs to get Shoyuta as soon as possible, but it doesn't work. The Nomu was like a wall, he didn't hurt him even a bit. Fear not, for I am here. All Might. Utilizing the moment, where Shigaraki is too occupied by All Might's appearance, Izuku walks up to Shoyuta, immediately checking his vital signs. He's alive. He sighs relieved, but before doing anything he's put away by All Might, within Azui and Mineta. I need to get him to Recovery Girl, my first aid kid won't do shit. He's aggressively hurt. How is he? Izuku is scared by Shoto's sudden emergence. He needs Recovery Girl, but I need help to get him out of here. Shoto nods, helping him carry Shoyuta, when there's a big explosion. All Might just stopped a Nomu's blow. It's strong, maybe stronger than him. I don't know if he's gonna make it, Izuku says, softer than what he expected, making Shoto looks down. We need to think the best. They stop to watch the fight. All Might starts punching, he has a good plan, but Izuku's not sure if he can keep going for too long. All at once, the Nomu is cobbed from the place, breaking some ceiling's glass. We'll come back and we'll take that brat with us next time. Shigaraki says out loud, almost disappearing with Kurogiri. Not yet. A shot. They're here. The pros? Late. Shigaraki curses and goes away, leaving behind all the other villains. When Izuku thinks everything is okay, he sees himself back on the torture room again. No, not now. A flashback. He's tied, all hurt on the floor, the first time Hisashi tortured him. Fire. He's burnt everywhere, he hates Hisashi's fire. Will you FNG obey? Or will you keep being a crybaby? Izuku spits blood. I won't kill. It's almost a cry, he also feels himself about to pass out. Guess you haven't seen fire enough. The last thing he sees is Hisashi's mouth opening. That's how he got his back scar, it's huge, that's all he knows. What if everyone finds out? What's going to happen to me? What if they already know? Shigaraki looked at me when he said that and Aizu. Another flashback? Oh, Shoto is with him, right? Yeah. And his head hurts. There was so much noise on this place when they were all battling, Izuku's head looks like about to explode. Let's go. No. Wait for me here. He needs to see All Might. It was as clear as the day that he wasn't okay, with all that dust cloud coming out of him. You're not fine, you can't just go. I need to go, Shoto, so just let me, okay? He smiles melancholic, Shoto sighing as concerned as he can be. Please be careful, Izuku nods and runs to All Might, but when he gets to him he's revealed a big surprise. Uncle Toshi? What are you doing here? He notices that Cementos creates a wall behind them, confusing him even more. This is bad. I need you to help me out of here, okay kid? I can explain later. Now, Recovery Girl. Izuku nods without questioning, picking him up and making him leans on himself, walking to whatever way he's looking for Recovery Girl. Oh no, I left Dad with Shoto, did I just? Todoroki just left him with my partners, he's right now being carried to the infirmary, seems like it's your time. Recovery Girl appears, putting her hand on his shoulder. Aunt Chio. Where's Dad? Is the first thing Izuku asks when on the infirmary. Oh, he was headed to another room, since his condition is worse than yours both, he looks at her worried. Will he be okay? Of course. Not something that my gracious kisses can't cure, he's resting by this moment, Izuku smiles, relieved. Yeah. Tashinori murmurs something that they can't understand, When finally put on bed, Izuku's sitting on the one besides him. I think I've probably shortened my time limit again. I'll be lucky if I still get an hour a day. Izuku looks at him, still lost. What's the meaning of all this? Chio sighs. Just tell him already, Toshinori. I'm All Might, my boy. I know it's hard to believe, but it's the truth. Izuku looks at him, no words on his mind. Say what? It's my quirk. I now can't be All Might for a long time without coming back to normal. Izuku gasps for air. Too much information. I don't know, I need to think for a bit. Can you have dinner with us tonight? I'm not sure if Dad will be there, but... Izuku gets up, he needs to get fresh air. Of course, my boy, see you there then. Izuku nods, smiling, walking out of the room. There's too much on his mind, he's just walking, probably and hopefully home, thinking about All Might, today's incident. If Azui and Mineta understood that he's the son of a villain, how he couldn't help Shoyuta as much as he thought he could. Aizu, you're starting to scare me. He looks at his side, where Shoto stands, walking with him. Oh, you're here, hey? Shoto sighs, making Izuku wonder for how long he was there. Don't let today's happenings get to your mind like this. Do you want to talk about it? Seeing Shoto talks like that, comparing how he is at school, is kind of weird. I had a flashback of the first day Hisashi tortured me. Have you seen my back scar? I hate it. It remembers me of him and I hate him. I don't like hating people, but... wanting or not, he's my father. He killed my mother, who I barely remember the face, and did all that to me. I can't just don't hate him and his goddamn fire. So you hate my fire too? Izuku looks at him, nonconformist of what he just heard. Of course not. You and Hisashi are completely different people. Even though I never saw it, I'm sure your fire is comforting. You'd never try to hurt me with it. I guess it's fine then. Anything else? You seem a lot frightened. Izuku smiles. I can't hide anything from you, can I? There's a pause. A comfortable silence. I think Azui and Mineta know about Hisashi being my father. I also couldn't help Dad, and he's just so injured he could have died. And there's this other thing that I don't know if I can tell you, but it's just... I don't know what to think. Maybe you should just rest a bit. You did a lot today. We fought villains. That's a pro hero's job. We're all tired. Maybe Shoto's right. Before turning the corner, Izuku nods. I'll try to do that. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow. Getting home, Izuku's surprised by Namuri's voice and burnt smell. He opens the door, walking in carefully. Aunt Namuri? He hears a gasp. Little Izuku. I didn't know you'd be home so early. What are you doing here? Shouldn't I be asking you that? And why is it smelling like burnt food? Namuri walks to him, an awkward smile on her face. I may or not may have burned tonight's dinner, little bean, he sighs. Izuku leaves his bag on the couch. Do you want help? Once in a while I help Pa with cooking. She smiles as he was the world's salvation. Of course. What do you want to do? Let's make omurices. Uncle Toshi is coming, so I think 5 is okay. Namuri looks at him puzzled. Why 5 though? Isn't Shoyuta staying at school to rest? Izuku smiles, tired. Do you really think he won't come? That? Sleeping at school? You're right, she laughs. Let's make some omurices. We're home. Hisashi announces loudly as always. You really came, huh? So goddamn stubborn. Namuri says, greeting Shoyuta with a hug. If you touch me this way, I'll probably break the rest of my healthy bones, he says. Welcome back, Dad, but Uncle Toshi didn't come? Hisashi leaves their things on the couch, walking to the table. He's coming. And what do we have here? Who cooked it? They look delicious. Namuri and Izuku smile. Well, of course it was Izuku. I'm sure it'll help Shoyuta heals faster. Shoyuta smiles. I'm certain it will. Aren't you forgetting someone? What about me? Toshinori comes in smiling. Late. No omuris for you, Hisashi jokes. Nonsense. Will you let them beat me like this, my boy? Didn't you prepare one especially for me? Izuku looks at him and fake a shocked factor. Oh no, I think I forgot yours. Silence. Then everyone laughs, confusing Toshinori. Come on, the table's ready. There's food for everyone, Hisashi says, everyone sitting together. After eating, Toshinori sits with Izuku on the living room's floor. So, okay, you're all might, I got that. What are you doing at UA anyways? Toshinori smiles. The boy was for sure understanding. I'm looking for a successor. How do I explain this? I can pass my quirk from generation to generation, so I'm looking for someone who is good enough to replace me. Whoa, I'm sure your successor is a really great hero. All Might's successor? Izuku says astonished. Toshinori smiles. We'll see that at the sports festival.